Had some technical difficulties there as YouTube was not allowing me to stream horizontally. So that was a little bit of a pain, but I think we got it now. Want to make sure we are all good and everybody is here before we fully dive in. Gonna shoot out the link on the socials, and I think we will be good to go. Sorry about that, guys. I haven't streamed in about 3.5 years. The last time was back in September of 2022, just after Cars on the Road came out. We did a little post Cars on the Road live stream, and I want to get into live streaming more, but there's just so much new stuff to review that I've been kind of focusing on that. But yeah, can you guys hear me? Let's confirm that everyone can hear me. Can you guys see me all right? Monitoring the chat here. Okay, I see a couple yeses. That's great. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The original stream was like locked into a vertical orientation. And obviously, I want to show you guys as much as possible here. So we got the horizontal orientation. We have a bunch of stuff to unbox. I got whatever these are. I guess they're collectible bag clips. I found some at Walmart in the electronics section. We have a Masha I want to unbox. We have not one, but two of these Dynaco 2 packs I want to unbox. And maybe you guys can convince me to unbox one of the light up cars back there that I just got in the mail. So we're gonna let some people filter on in. We're up to 104. Yeah, Sensei. The previous stream wanted to be short, and this is not going to be short. We're going to go for as long as I possibly can. I really would like to go for an hour, hour and a half. Yes, they do actually light up, and honestly, all you gotta do is just kind of tap them and boom. Looking pretty cool, actually. Although it does make me lament the fact that we're not getting diecast versions of Wingo. We're not getting a diecast of Snot Rod nor DJ. And this is actually the only format in which we are getting DJ. We are getting the others, either color changers, mini racers. Boost, though, is the only one that we are getting a die cast out of, which is just crazy to me. I can't believe that that's the only one that they decided to actually do a die cast of. Looks pretty cool. I love that they're all getting new wings. Of course, Snot Red doesn't have a wing to begin with, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm just gonna push out the link to as many people as possible so we can get the whole squad in here, guys. I want everyone in this stream celebrating the anniversary. A little Tuesday night fun. Again, guys, if you're just coming in, yeah, it's been 3 years since I've done a live stream. Last time, well, it's almost been 4 years because of the fact that it was in September 2022, just after Cars on the Road came out. So, yeah. How's everyone doing? Let's get some questions rolling, guys. So, Q&A, we're going to do a room tour at the end. I'm going to show you everything here in the studio. Not going to lie, it's a bit of a mess right now because I'm in a bit of an expansion renovation. Cube, not funny. I am not going to Disney. Unfortunately, just not able to swing a midweek trip like that. I have been traveling a lot though, and since I work a full-time job, you can only take so much time off. And I have a big trip to France coming up in September and October, Monaco, Italy included in that, going to Puerto Rico as well in August for a quick little weekend getaway with my buddy. So I got a couple things on the docket, no pun intended. And therefore, yeah, I just couldn't swing this midweek trip. I see a lot of people are there having fun in Cars Land. One thing, yeah. So I am technically going to Disneyland Paris. So does that count, right? Yeah, can't watch the whole thing. I have to get back to work. That is okay, World of Cars Entertainment. I appreciate you for stopping in. Say hi to Raul Cerul. I have Raul Cerul on the table somewhere. That's the thing about being messy is that I have like every car imaginable on the table within arm's distance. So yeah, I mean, I just did him in a video a couple weeks ago. Been watching your vid since your early RC Cars 5 days, Tim Apollo. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the support for all that time because I haven't been RC Cars 5 in, and guys, how long has it been? 8 years? Might have been more. I think I was still, yeah, I was RC Cars 5 in 2017. So yeah, probably 8, 9 years now. And that's kind of when I went to RC5 Disney Docket. Does anyone remember RC5 Disney Docket? I wanted to transition to the Disney Docket moniker, if you will. And I didn't want to completely lose the recognizability. So I had to gradually go RC5 Disney Docket, then Disney Docket. And then I wanted to completely abandon all copyrighted trademark IP content in my name. And therefore, I became just Mr. Docket. Fun little name. Hope you guys like it. It's kind of too late now. I am 100% entrenched in the Mr. Docket name. But yeah, I wanted to kind of become my own brand. Alejandro Garcia, yeah, birthday suggestions were fun. It just a lot of people kind of just got carried away with them. And Dr. Docket, yeah, no, got kind of carried away with them. Like literally asking me like the day of to review cars, and like you just can't do that. So unfortunately, we don't really do those anymore. But suggestion videos, technically, I'm always open to suggestions. So that is something that, if you have a good idea, send it through. Email me, guys. My emails are always open. MrDocket@gmail.com. When did I start collecting cars, dude? As Bloxy Cola, back in 2006 when the first movie came out. So I kind of wanted to get into that because I mean, the reason we are here is to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cars, of course. Now, I didn't see it 20 years ago today. I didn't see it on opening day. My mom took me probably a week or two, maybe afterwards, after it came out. I wouldn't expect it was that much later since, fun new movie, Cars racing movie comes out, take me to the movie. Honestly, it's probably my first memory. You guys like ever think about your first true memory and not just things that your parents and family have talked about so much? Like, oh my God, you used to do this as a kid, or, remember this time where you did this embarrassing thing when you were like 3, and you just hear it so much that you think you remember it yourself, but it's just like a created memory from all the time that people talk about it. My first true memory is seeing the first Cars movie in 2006 in a movie theater here that I don't think it's even open anymore. If I'm thinking of the right one, over in Chicago Heights here, which is now not a great area, unfortunately, but there was a movie theater there back then, and that is where I believe I saw Cars for the first time. And during the opening like sequence, the racing sequence, I remember I was jumping up and down. There was like a rail in front of. We were kind of like at the midway point of the theater, and so there was like a rail, and I was jumping up and down to the Real Gone music. Still a phenomenal song, and yeah, Sensei Loomis. Funny enough, Cars probably first memory. That's awesome. Carson is a huge fan and would like to know which of your Cars diecast is your favorite of all time. That is such a tough question because I love everything there is. Like there's so many good ones. Here is an example though of one of my favorites. Brian Parks Motors. This is the canceled Thailand variant of him I just reviewed a month or so ago. So I have that. We could definitely get into all that good stuff here. But let's just start with unboxing one of these collectible bag clips. I've been just dying to open one of these. Chicago Heights Malls, where I got carbon fiber quinn. That's awesome. Favorite all-time racer from Cars 1 is going to be Greg Kahneman. That's a much easier question. I love Taco Mint, and yeah, it's very sad to me that they still haven't done the Taco Mint next gen, which is actually crazy. I do think I have the Kyle Larson accessible if we want to get into that later. But yeah, let's take a look at these collectible bag clips here. Actually looks pretty cool, and probably a bad idea I got these because now I'm gonna want them all. I hope I didn't get a duplicate, but this one feels significantly heavier than this one. So yeah, found these. If you guys are interested, at Walmart in the electronics section, they had like a little end cap mixed with Toy Story stuff. This is also where I found this really cool piece of merchandise, this stained glass medicated Rust-eze bumper run rear end formula. Didn't have to read that all out, but this is so cool. I'm gonna hang this once I get this renovation done. Really cool that they did that. They did one for Mandalorian and Grogu, but let's just open one of these up here. Collect them all. I don't know why McQueen looks so much bigger. Maybe they're just emphasizing McQueen. Looks like there's exclusive A and exclusive B creative names right there. But yeah, you can tell it's Sally and Flo. All right, let's just crack one of these open. Sup? My 3-year-old got me in the cars. He now has over 100 die guys. That is awesome. I love to hear that. Oh, let's see who it is. It is Luigi. Oh, these things feel really nice. These are high quality. They're not like plastic. They're like a really hard resin almost, kind of like a soft matte finish. Cute. I like it. Yeah, I don't know if I would feel comfortable using this like on my bag because I don't want it to get damaged. I mean, it's collectible after all, right? Yeah, so they're not gonna roll. You have the Fiat. I never remember how to pronounce Fiat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I think there's like Peugeot, another European brand that I just don't remember ever. Pugo? I think it's Pugo. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Fix it again, Tony. Is that a reference to Tony Shalhoub? Oh, the bumper is like rubber. Oh, and so are the side view mirrors. This is really cool, guys. This is a really cool little collectible item here. I hope I get red or Mac though. Red Mac, Fillmore, those are probably my most Fiat. Okay, yeah. That's should be pretty easy to remember. Cars Forever 4002. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. You don't have to do that, but that means the world to me and it allows us to keep going here on the channel. Really hoping that no, it just means Fiat with the first letters Fiat. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I'm really hoping now that the anniversary's here, Disney and Pixar have acknowledged it finally after all this time. They just were waiting for the day, I guess. And that's cool with me because they just confirmed the Cars re-release in the movie theaters in September. I don't believe they confirmed an exact date like they have for I think Avengers Endgame is getting re-released like September 22nd, 26th, I think actually. Cars sometime in September. I'm a little surprised they're waiting that long, but they probably want to distance it from Toy Story 5. Not sure if they have any other like when's Moana, the live action Moana coming out? Mr. Docket, what would you say is the worst release variant of each manufacturer, China, New China, Thailand, and Vietnam? That is another loaded question. Definitely remember Blue Toys, though, Blue Collection. Yo, how's it going, Ivan? Yeah, no, China, see, the thing is, they're all relative. I mean, there are some bad cars that China put out. I mean, I wouldn't even say Corey Turbowitz is the worst, but the fact that she still doesn't have side view mirrors after all this time is pretty ridiculous, right? It's pretty ridiculous. I think you could argue that Mel Dorado from Thailand is one of the worst. I remember just because of the yellow color being so inaccurate. And from Vietnam, I remember the NASCAR McQueen in that 5 pack, which is now a super forlorn item, guys. Remember, you got NASCAR Cruise and you got pit stop barriers for King, Mario, and Junior Moon. Super weird, super random, but awesome. But yeah, I remember the NASCAR McQueen in that pack to be just god awful. Blurriest decals, like bleeding too. It's like they were melting off of the car. Yeah, Kyle Busch, that whole situation is just so sad, guys. It's just so sad. We can get into that. Don't want, dwell on the bad stuff. Does anyone know who makes customs? Turbo Fanboy. So yeah, I mean, you could just search up on my channel custom, and there are hundreds of videos on customs because customs are one of my favorite thing of all time. And I have some customs to show you here. And all those videos I credit who makes them. So you can just go in the description, reach out. So find your favorite customs. You like maybe Jim Scavenger, Shane Cooper, Wilson's Diecast, whoever it may be, reach out to them and you can ask them or reach out to multiple, see who will do whatever you want to make. So if you want that Shane Taco Mint Next Gen, I'm not sure, is that even like a very popular NASCAR driver? I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I'm not a huge NASCAR guy, like IRL. I'm trying to get more into racing. I did watch the Indy 500. That was epic. That finish was awesome. What is the deal with the factory customs in jail? What? Factory customs in jail? I'm not sure. Fazbear Games. I am great. How are you? Do you remember your live streams for Cars 3 back in 2017? Yes, Daniel, those are awesome. And I really hope to do more live streams here soon. Along with Cars 3's 9th anniversary, coincidentally, the Blu-ray, the chat's moving so fast. Super Galaxy movie. Yeah. All right. If you were Mattel, what new diecast from the first movie would you have released for the 2026 mainline Cars Forever? So, I think for the 20th anniversary here, we got to include some of those canceled Cars 1 final lap releases like Benny Caliper. Now, Bertha Butler's Wagon, who I actually have here, did get re-released and uncanceled and released, I guess I should say, a couple years ago. But what about this guy? Vroom Around This Buggus was canceled in 2010 slash early 2011. Still don't quite know how they would have released him. This is just like a 3D printed custom, a little smaller than how it would have been. The prototype that we saw in the Peterson Automotive Museum had much wider wingspan. So probably a deluxe, but I really don't know how that would have gotten released. Would have been super cool. Shane Van Gisbergen is an Australian driver who came over to NASCAR. He's slowly learning the oval tracks. Cool. Cool. Thanks for the info. Shane won the Chicago street race. That's actually incredible, considering that is where I am from. Greetings from Australia. Kane, thanks for joining. Hopefully it is not too early or too late over there. I think it would be pretty early. Is race damage mood springs worth the price? Well, that's a tough question. Here we do have race damage mood strings, and it is probably one of the best releases that Mattel's ever done because of accuracy. I mean, they actually got the blue wheels, the expressions perfect. It is one of the best releases that they've ever done, in my opinion. That being said, for $500, you can get a lot of other cars. And I'm not saying like it's not worth it. It's a tough question, guys. That is a really tough question to ask. Greetings from Argentina. That's someplace I want to travel eventually. I will get out there. It's just such an expensive flight. There are no direct flights from my town here in Chicago, unfortunately, to Argentina. There are to other places like Colombia, but not to Argentina. Don't want to get too off track. Yes, don't take me out, coach. I could still race. Got so much going on right now through the head. Will Slider, Petrowski, Dirksen, UFC, and Darren Ledfoot get re-released? Sage Vanishman get re-released next year in 2027. I would guess one or two of those would. Probably not all of them, though. But Slider and Dirksen are very much so due for a re-release. They did not get Red Riders releases, which is very unfortunate. What do I do for work besides YouTube? Cube Not Funny. I work at Northwestern Medicine in Chicago doing IT project management. So yeah, I started that just about a year and a couple months ago. So I've been ripping that and doing this. It's been a great life. I've been loving living, just enjoying life, cars, work, travel, sports. It's been so much fun. So much fun, guys. Previously, I was working so many jobs. I was doing my master's degree as well. So it was a really, really busy time. And I feel like I wasn't able to give you guys what you deserved here on the channel. So I'm super happy that that has all changed. Have you watched any NASCAR lately? No, I have not. Turbo fanboy. I work in Northwestern Medicine tomorrow. That's actually crazy. Holy cow. What are you doing? Are you interning or something? Kind of crazy that Dirksen side just skipped right over Red Rise. Yeah, it is. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, out in DeKalb. Yeah, I mean, they have so many locations. I want to get back to Cars 4002's question about Northwestern Medicine Racer One. Yeah, I would love that. EVS, nice. Environmental services. Great. Good for you. So, yeah, Benny Caliper, Bernie Banks, the camera car. Now, I also would have loved like a couple releases from the Alpha Numeros. You guys know about the Alpha Numeros. That is like all those cars that created the Piston Cup like leathers. Before the race, they were driving out there. You kind of got an aerial view of them. Just release like one from each in a 4-pack or a 5-pack. That would be so cool. Like each color, each model would be awesome. However, since they don't really do stuff like that, super unrealistic. But I do think Benny Caliper, Bernie Banks would have been very much so in play. Pam, I never found Rowdy Revenbush in the store in 2022, unfortunately. Now, that being said, I wasn't really looking all that much. I was in school, so I didn't. I go to like a bazillion stores now, guys. I have to be honest. I waste a lot of gas. I'm always going to stores now, but back in the day, I did not, because I just was too busy and was kind of isolated in my university. Also, he was extremely poorly distributed, so would have been very hard even if I did look. Now in Canada, he showed up at Dollarama, which is awesome. So I got mine on eBay. I think I got another one in the package, but yeah, that is a very valuable release nowadays. Mr. Docket, what would you say is the worst peg warmer of all time from Tam2CA2? The worst peg warmer of all time. The first one that comes to mind for me is Finnick Missile from 2011 and onwards, just because of how Misty Motorcraft Carveloso for sure. Sorry, Misty. Carla just got a little more pizzazz to her. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, welcome in. How you guys doing? Yeah, so Finnick Missile nowadays, the opposite of a peg warmer, but back then was all over the place. There are pictures online you could find where there's just 30 fins at Target. And yeah, I mean, Chisaki from 2022, Lee Race. Yeah, 2022 had some bad ones. There are some stores I could go and still find a Lee Race. Do motorcycles exist in the Cars universe? That is a great question. I've thought about it and I'm just going to go with no because we've never seen one. And I just think it would be too hard for them to implement that. I think that would require some insane creativity on Disney and Pixar's part. And I honestly just don't know if there is a way you could do it without making it look weird. So, yeah. What do you think about Wayne Dasher Rev and Go Cars 3? So that's a fan made name, but it's a cool name. I like that name. And I was thinking about that actually recently because, guys, I have a little bit of an announcement here for you, a little insider information. Favorite fast food restaurant right now, by the way, Joe Myers, is Which Wich. Used to be Freddy's, but they all closed in my area. Sad. Yeah, so in 2017, 2018, there were motorcycle handlebars, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they exist. Maybe they were exist and then they extinct. Maybe like animals, like deer, like you were kind of saying. So yeah, what was I saying? There was a 72 car set planned for 2018, most likely, that included no duplicates, all cars from 2017's mainline or what. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, guys. Someone sent me a picture of the bottom of the box. Like, just imagine a big box in the Cars 3 aesthetic. So you got black, red, Cars 3 logo. 72 cars inside, broken up into four boxes. So 18 cars each. Now, what could have been in that box? Trying to figure it out, guys. But the reason I was thinking about who we all refer to as Wayne Dasher, the Cars 3 Rev and Go racers, because maybe that was included in some way. I don't know, but that is the only way that Mattel has done that car. Do I have the 2006 factory sealed set? Unfortunately, not. I actually just looked it up on eBay because I really want it, and it was like $2,600. So I was like, that's tough. That's a tough one to swing right now. So yeah, probably not gonna have that for a while. Unfortunately, Chuck Shocks made on. Yeah, that is one of my favorite cars I actually have. I have a prototype of Chuck Shocks, but I don't want to talk about planes all that much. Do I like the Lego McQueen Super Lego? Yeah, I really do. I like it a lot. And I'm so glad that Lego got in on the anniversary and they did it first. I mean, do you know when Mattel is going to rescale Frank? You know what? I don't know if they're going to ever do that because you'd have to really downscale them considering how wide the combine is. Actually, I have Frank right here. Yeah, I mean, you would really just jeopardize the integrity of Frank. I mean, Frank is meant to be big, right? I mean, I just feel like a small version of him would look really tacky. And again, like I said, you'd have to maybe make the combine like detachable for it to even like somehow be serviceable. Tried to build Lego McQueen this morning, Joe Myers. That's awesome. How far did you get? How many Cars 2 Lego sets do you have? I don't have any Cars 2 Lego sets. Do you think Cars 4 would work or would it fail? So here's the thing. I think a Cars 4 would work. I think it would make more money than Cars 3, but that is not a given considering we are in this post-pandemic era of cinema where just movies are not making as much money. The theaters are not bringing in as many people. So Cars 4, would it make more than I think Cars 3 made like 300 and some million. I think that's a pretty easy like hurdle to jump, but you never know. And I think Pixar is probably figuring that out right now, or maybe they were figuring out, and maybe they are actually gearing up for a Cars 4 announcement. I do think it's very, very probable. I really do, because they are building a whole Cars land in Disney World. So that would mean they have Cars area in Orlando, obviously, which is where they're building it. They have one already out in Anaheim. They have one in Paris. Why are they investing so much in cars, doing this lightning racers? You know what I think they're gonna do this lightning racers, kind of get some new fans, some younger energy, and boom, Cars 4 announcement. And I think with all those younger fans, and obviously at this point, it'll be 20 plus years after the original, you'll have people like me, a very nostalgic group of people toward cars. And I do think that Cars 4 is likely. It's within the realm of possibility. What's your favorite scene from Cars 1? Pit stop. I mean, that is the scene that, like, when I just need a pick me up, guys, I go back and watch the pit stop scene. The music is incredible. It's epic. I thought like that was just an epic scene. I still do. Like sometimes it brings a tear to my eye. Just I love how they show, like they just completely show up Chick Hicks's squad. Like even thinking about it right now gets me emotional because it's just such a great scene. And yeah, no, I mean, it's not even, yeah, not even close. I do think they're amazing scenes in Cars 1, but the pit stop scene, Guido end there is just incredible. Could you answer my question? What are your thoughts on the body swap plot from Cars 3? Are you talking about like McQueen getting the new model? Which I don't, yeah, I really wish they didn't do that to be honest, but yeah, it is what it is. Do you think McQueen would still be racing in Cars 4? I do think you have to. And I actually have conceived a really cool idea for Cars 4, guys. If you promise not to steal my idea for a Cars 4 is actually that the Piston Cup becomes rigged. I'm a big sports fan, and there's always questions like, are the games rigged? There's gambling involved, all this stuff. I think a great plot for Cars 4 would be McQueen still racing, and yet there's some like rigging to the races going on. I don't know how they would do that, but there's like a commissioner of the Piston Cup, and that's the villain. The commissioner of the Piston Cup is the villain because he's rigging the races. Maybe he wants, I don't know, maybe he wants McQueen to even win because McQueen draws the numbers. Like he's popular. Everyone like it's like if they want Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl because he's like the most popular player of all time. They want McQueen to win. Maybe McQueen has he's at this conjunction where he wants to win, but he also doesn't want to cheat. Like he doesn't want to win in a foul way. Could create a really cool conflict. I think Cruz can be in it, of course. And hey, I think that would allow, a whole new generation of Piston Cup racers. I think that would be my plot. I don't know how it would end, but ultimately, that would be where I would go with the Cars 4. And yeah, favorite Cars villain, it's got to be Chick Hicks. What do you think are the three worst scenes in all the cars? I don't want to talk about the worst scenes, guys. I mean, I don't know. I would never even consider a scene to be bad because this is my favorite franchise. Have you played any of the Cars video games? I have played all the Cars video games. My favorite would be either Mater National or Racerama or the original. Those are just so nostalgic to me. I want to rip them again. I want to get on some sort of console and play them again. I used to play them on the PC, which I can't do anymore. I have a Mac computer and just wouldn't run it well. So yeah, I could play, I guess, on Xbox. You guys gotta let me know. Help me out. I mean, what's the best way to play those original Cars games? I could probably play them on the Wii, maybe. So yeah. Yeah, those original Cars games were awesome. I did play Driven to Win a lot, the Cars 3 game. That was a lot of fun. Even if it's not the most like creative game, there's no like new characters, which is what I really loved about some of the original games. Favorite song from any of the Cars movies? It's going to be You Make Me Think slash Real Gone. Both of those are incredible. I jammed to them as a kid. I also used to love Polyrhythm, the Japanese song from the Tokyo Party. I mean, that got the gears going for sure. And then Collision of Worlds is really good. I feel like Run That Race in Cars 3 is like okay, but Cars 3, the music didn't really do much for me. Yeah, Wii's the best. Yeah, got delisted. Cars 3, what does that mean? Delisted. Oh, it's just not available anymore. Could still play it. I know I played that one on the Wii, so that would be easy for me. I played Cars 2. That was a fun game. I like the weapons. Love the Planes movies as well. We gotta give credit to the Planes movies as well, but that's just not in the cards for today. We are talking about Cars 20th anniversary with a little Cars 2 sprinkled in. Now, guys, if this is successful, a successful live stream, I plan to live stream for the Cars 2 20th anniversary, 15th anniversary, that is. I think that would be June 24th. The Xbox team announced that they would be re-releasing more old games soon. Cars National was re-released on the new Xbox a few years ago. Maybe the OG game will be next. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely eat that up right away. What is your idea for an expanded universe line in 2027? Huh. It's a good question. You know what? I feel like they're gonna go back to some sort of racing well, and they're gonna somehow incorporate the World Grand Prix racers because they're just easy to do. Gotta include Lewis, Jeff, Rip, Nigel in this one, right? Now, we know that they were planned for the GRC line and they got canceled, unfortunately. But yeah, I think I would love to see them back. How about no expanded universe line again? Yeah, it's just inevitable at this point. It's just inevitable. However, maybe next year with Cars Lightning Racers, it takes the place of it. However, in the meantime, what is your real name? How about, guys? I was thinking about this, Maddox Cook. I was thinking about revealing my real name at the end of this live stream. How about that? How about that? So remind me at the end of this live stream, I plan to reveal my real name. There you go. It's quite the, some of you guys probably already know of it, but sure a lot of you guys don't. So what is your top rare car you have? Oh, so many prototypes, canceled cars that you could probably consider to be my rarest cars. Did the lost delete scene, the lost? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like the deleted scene where McQueen's like in that junkyard. Yeah, that is pretty scary. But I think the one where he's like a steamroller is even worse. Very scarring. And I watched Speed Racer back in the day, but I can't really speak to it. Guys, I think it's time for an unboxing here again. I got Masha L's wrench. Now, why am I unboxing a Masha's L's wrench? It's because she's going to get repurposed into a Cars 3 crew chief. And if you guys can guess what it is, give you a shout out. But let's just go ahead and rip her open here. Do want to take a look at this real quick. Yeah, so this guy came from Macy's. Macy's is low key been like really solid for me. They don't get in cases at such a high frequency that I like have to go all the time, but they did get in case G. They had whatever this case was, case Y or whatever from last year. And yeah, Count Spatula. No, Masha will not. I'm just kidding. Next gen Apple crew chief. You mean this right here that I already have done from Jim Scavenger? Yeah, Masha got repurposed into that already. Pretty cool. Pretty simplistic, easy design because you just need to slap the 84 on there. Gasprin crew chief, bingo, Tutti Frutti cars. If someone else said it, I apologize. I missed it. But yes, that is correct. Actually, I already had one done, but the color was off. I didn't like it. So I sold it to Astro Smoky. And I'm sending now this one back to Jim Scavenger so he can make it with the proper like Richie Gunzik color because the shade of blue is so obscure and unique that it was hard to match. It still looked beautiful, but my perfectionist self like wanted it perfect because he was able to make it and he just made it for other people perfect in the nice shade of blue. I I want it that way, and since I didn't have it that way, I kind of got salty about it. But now we're making it happen. Reports say Cars 4. See, these reports though are really just rumors. That being said, I think it's still possible. What is your favorite custom diecast in your collection? Maddox Cook. How about I show you one of my new favorite customs? Because it's all I can think about right now. Do you guys know who this is, even? Do you guys even know who this is? This is a deep cut. It does appear in something that's also about 20 years old. This is a custom by Wilson Diecast, who actually I saw popped into the stream. Not sure if you're still there, but yeah, it's Stinky guys from Mater Private Eye, the dump truck. Probably the best custom. I mean, I see this, but truly, I am so impressed with what customizers have been able to do over the last couple of years with the augmentation of 3D printing, and that's clearly kind of what made Stinky possible, using, of course, a Dustin Mellows cab. But yeah, absolutely incredible. This guy will get his own review here in the coming days or weeks. Yeah, first dump truck. That is just, yeah, one of my favorite. We're at 160 people, guys. Let's keep it 167. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Yes, I do think there will be another expanded universe line for 2027. And yeah, we'll see how it is. Hopefully, it's better than some of the stuff we've gotten lately. Although I know a lot of you guys like it. Guys, question for you guys, 172 viewers. Let's go a little Q&A to you guys. Who's your favorite Piston Cup racer? Easy question. Only one answer will be accepted, though. Greg Candyman for Taco Mint is mine. Guys, let me know your favorite Piston Cup racer, and while you're at it, slap that like button. I would love that. I appreciate it, guys. Let's get this live stream out to as many people as possible. RPM, Cars Forever 4002 Classic. A little Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, Ralph, Carlo, Claude, Scruggs, Kevin, Shift-Right. I could have guessed that one. Epic Green Thunder. Eugene Karbareski's probably top 5 for me. Aiken Axler. Love the channel. Cramerica Industries. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. Ernie Gearson. Billy Oil Changer. We got a lot of Aiken Axlers I'm seeing in here. A lot of Chuck Armstrong, of course. Dale. I got Dale right here. You can see him in the corner of your eye. Have you guys been able to find the new NASCAR Metallic Dale yet? It's been very rare. I found like 2, one in January, one Frank, funny Luby, one in January, one in February at the same store, and I haven't sniffed it since. Haven't seen the 2-pack. Got a little Lee Revkins in here, a lot of Ernie Gearsons. Okay. You know who I'm not hearing anyone else say though is like Kevin Racing Tire. Not really hearing. Who else I'm not really hearing? And we got the one Kevin Shift, right? We got Ralph Carlo. Those would be kind of toward the bottom for me. You found the 2-pack, Alejandro. That's awesome. Congratulations to you. I do think the 2-pack will make Dale easier to find, but the single still might be pretty tough. Just keep at it, guys. And if you see the NASCAR singles without the new for 2024 logo, that means you found it. You're just late to the party, which sucks. It happens to me all the time. Dave Apex, Revolting Tom Marcus. I feel like we've seen almost like all 36 racers from the original movie. Some people, I saw a little Jackson Storm, Cal Weathers as well. But most people are going for the original. A lot of Aiken Axler. I'm a big Aiken Axler's guy from the video game. Yeah. All those reserve drivers from the video game. That's such a cool, like, little layer to the original Cars video game. Is Kyle Carson the last NASCAR release? Guys, I'm going to give you another rumor here. I'm not sure if this is going to be true. I've heard rumblings from my sources in China that a metallic Jackson Storm is in the works, but I can't corroborate that. If I didn't hear anything like that, I would say Kyle is probably the last NASCAR release because I think ultimately they are going to just transition to something new. You know, we are seeing right now Glow Racers get pushed out for race and rescue. You know, Target.com just put up the new race and rescue trash talkers. They just put up that 4-pack with Red and I think Sally McQueen are in it. Just grab that. They're doing F1. Yes, of course. That is right. Exactly. So I think they will transition to that, guys. I actually found out about the F1 stuff back in December. And I was so excited. I wish I could have told you guys, but I was under strict orders not to. And trash talkers, yeah, I'm sorry, track talkers. Yeah. So, yeah, no, F1 is coming. Hopefully, we get some pictures for that soon. Any day now. What would you want to be the next release for the Disney Pixar Cars line? Like a character in a movie or even Cars on the Road, which there's a lot of potential for. I'd be very much so down for that. Guys, we got 170 people in here. Why not open another collectible bag clip? I really want Mac. I really want Mac. This feels, though, like this kind of feels like red. Almost feels like a red to me right here. Let's crack it open. Professor Zundab. Do you think they'll put the F1 series in the main line? No, no, no. It'll be its own thing like NASCAR. All right. What do we have here? Was I correct? I see a red base. Did I actually predict it? Oh, it was red. Let's go. He was right up there with Mac for the ones I wanted the most. But yeah, I could feel like kind of this little nubbin on the top here. I'm like, yeah, that feels like red. Let's go, guys. Yeah, this is awesome. I love the rubber features. They feel really high quality, which is good because I think they were like $9 at Walmart, which is kind of crazy. But they are pretty high quality. I would recommend it. And yeah, probably gonna go get some more. I should have gotten more even for this live stream. But hey, We'll be streaming again probably in a couple weeks. I want to make this kind of like a reoccurring thing. Monster Truck Mayor Announcer, yeah. Yeah, that is one that I've actually really wanted myself and should be an easy custom. It's just like that red pickup truck. Yeah, happy about that. That's a big win. Getting the red bag tag collectible. Sally and McQueen wedding expanded universe. That actually be crazy. Honestly, if they're doing the celebration thing, I wouldn't put anything past them. I'm a new Disney Pixar collector. Do you have any tips for new collectors? Daniel asks. My recommendation would be just try and get stuff in stores, right? You know, we want to do this in an economical way. El McQueen custom, yeah, that's in the works. Actually, El McQueen was canceled. I have a picture of it. The canceled stock of it from 2010/11. That's a little droplet. Gonna drop so many just little tidbits in this live stream. So for those who watch through the whole thing, but yeah, now what was I talking about, guys? This is crazy. This chat, so much going on. Our scavenger hunt release is rare, kind of. You think they should bring back 4 packs of the Piston Cup crew, but ones that haven't gotten released yet? Yeah, absolutely. Just don't think they will. Daniel, so yeah, for tips for new collectors, you want to find what you can in stores, buy what you like though. Start with just buying what you like. Go from there, right? If there's something you really, really want, you can only get it online, then go for it. But be smart about it. Look on eBay, look on Mercari, look on Facebook Marketplace. Make sure you're getting a good deal. I would just leverage your stores. I mean, go to Kohl's, go to Macy's, go to the places that are not frequented by collectors as much, like Walmart. I mean, Walmart, it's hardest to find cars at Walmart, not only because their distribution kind of stinks, they're getting only half cases in. So when they get in a case, they're only getting 12 cars versus Target, Macy's, Kohl's getting 24, Meyer getting 24. Whatnot, whatnot. Payton, yes, is a great app. Yeah. Walmart also, yeah, just has the most collectors that run through it. So like I usually can find cars pretty easily, but going to Walmart is tough because the case F, the half case F that I've tried to find lately at Walmart has been, yeah, I mean, it just gets eaten up right away. And all I'm left with is like Aaron Clocker, Ralph Carlo. I did find Rotor and Clutch A Tractor the other day. I have them right here because they put them out like in the Minecraft aisle on the side cap. So they weren't even in like the diecast aisle and they were on like an end cap, just a unlabeled end cap. It wasn't Cars branded, none of that. Just literally said $5.12. And they had a bunch of these and the white walls McQueens, which are just all over the place. So yeah, make sure you look around a little bit at Walmart because they like to put stuff anywhere and everywhere, especially with all the NASCAR overflow. Look up top. Lots of times haulers can be up top. Any hints for the 2027 diecast line? Unfortunately, I don't really have any info on that yet. Although I can confirm that it's in the works. Like we're not ending with 2026. I feel like this scared some people when it said 2006 to 2026 as if it ends. Now that is not the case. We are surging into 2027. One thing that I can say is that someone reached out to me kind of getting like a audience, like a fandom perspective on like what does the fandom want? What do they want to see get released? And they solicited some ideas, some suggestions. And so I talked with some people. What do we really want to see? That stuff is apparently in the works for 2027. So although it kind of was framed as like 20th anniversary stuff, ship has sailed. The ship had already sailed on that. So apparently it's in the works for 2027. So I think we might be in store for some good stuff. What I mean by that, like some movie releases, maybe some specials. Like maybe like an actual like RV. I don't know. Like maybe we are getting a San Diego Comic Con exclusive back in the future. I mean, I think stuff like that is what we would like to see, more unique releases, uncancellations. I have a ton of prototypes to show Xavier Mendoza because my room is such a mess right now. I have a bazillion prototypes here on the table. So this could honestly even turn into like a giga haul if you wanted to. Have this tractor with tire in the mouth, bare metal. Does have this weird little like green part on the bottom with green other. Yeah, I think we'll definitely get some Cars 3 veterans at some point. Are you associated with Diecast Dungeon? I am not associated with Diecast Dungeon, but I am friends with Diecast Dungeon, and I get a lot of stuff from Diecast Dungeon. He hooks me up with a lot of prototypes and other stuff throughout the years. In fact, I have some that he recently sold to me. Have this Lightning McQueen with headset prototype here. So yeah, it's a good little segue. What else do we have here? When I watched your review on the custom Tokyo Girls, you missed the opportunity. You mispronounced Chucky. It's pronounced Chuki. Okay. I guess that probably makes sense, right? Here is Chuki. Did I just redeem myself? I hope. Give me that thing. Guys, I have so many random cars on the table here. What about a Pepsi Chick Hicks? Yeah. What about a Chinese KFC Kentucky Fried Chicken Fillmore? I mean, this live stream could get really off the rails if I actually show you what's on the table here, guys. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And if we want this thing to go off the rails, it could. It could. So we gotta be careful. We have to be careful. Yeah, I mean, I think they will keep the anniversary packaging just without the anniversary logo. Because I mean, if we look in the background, we have the color changers on the new packaging. We have these light up things, which can you go to a KFC right now? I could. It's within striking distance, but wouldn't that be wild if I just pick up and live stream all the way to KFC? That would be crazy. I'd lose so many viewers though. How do you protect your diecast from dust? You know what? Before we get to that, I'm gonna remember the dust question. But because the fresh trunk is in the live chat, he has a prediction that the light up series will continue past the race to celebrate releases here, and we'll get other cars in this light up line. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I'm a little worried, honestly, about that prediction because these are only showing up at weird, weird stores. I got these from a Whatnot show. Appreciate the person who ran that show because they literally sold like 20 McQueens, bunch of Wingo's DJs, Sally's. Mater was the most popular. I'm just going to tell you right now, Mater was selling for a lot on their show, more than the tuners were. I don't know why they didn't do Boost, but point being, Fresh Trunk thinks that there are more. Yeah, I mean, here he is. They could easily do the townies as light up based on the Cars One nighttime scene. That would be pretty cool, actually. That would be pretty cool. I'm not convinced of it yet because I need to see them like show up actually at Target or Walmart or something, and maybe then we could go from there. But when they're being sold at like these weird regional quasi grocery stores, I just don't know. I don't know. Forza Horizon 6 has hinted at a Lightning McQueen collaborator. That'd be cool. What else? Do you guys have any other race fan diecast? My favorite race fan diecast from Cars 1. Whew, another great question. Guys, I'm trying to look over at my race fans right now. I see Brad Windmiller. I don't know if he would be my favorite though. Jay Lowley's pretty goaded. Super Chase actually found in a store. Kind of brings like that kind of means something for me. Finding a super chase in a store. Have you guys ever found a super chase in a store? I mean, probably a lot of newer collectors. The last super chase was in 2020. So, cars, best diecast era in your opinion, Jennifer. I feel like the only answer is 2009, 2010. They did so many different things. You had mini adventures, you had lenticulars, final lap, haulers, cars tunes. So you're just getting so many new cars at once. I mean, monthly, you're just getting so many. And yeah, I mean, 2016, 2015, great era as well. Found Globy on a Meyer. Awesome. Awesome. I never found a Globy. I have found Bud, though, another deluxe. Never found Sergeant High Gear. Cars 3 was goaded. Love it. Any updates on Kyle Carson? Well, I have him here. Can I get him? He's a little buried. Yeah, I mean, he's coming. Hopefully. The thing is, like, if a car is ever seen packaged, it's usually not going to get canceled. So I think it's coming. But with how hard Dale Earnhardt Jr. is to find, I'm a little worried about it, to be honest. Trini, yes, the dust question. So fortunately, a lot of my cars are behind glass. So they are protected from dust. However, not everything is. And unfortunately, you just can't avoid it. Some stuff does just get dusty. And I make an effort to dust my stuff frequently, but not as frequently as I should. Yes, I am going to review all the Race to Celebrate cars. So my suggestion, my advice would be to protect as much as possible using displays. So, what you see back there, it's behind glass, what's behind me behind glass, and that just eliminates the problem. Easy, right? And the stuff you do have out, you should get like an air duster, like a keyboard cleaner, one of those like air dusters that it's like a little can and you pull the trigger on it and it sprays air and it's really powerful. So it shoots out dust. Now, sometimes it's a little too finite. The dust is too granular, it doesn't pick that up. Like on like my dock here, or whatever, it's a little dusty. You wouldn't be able to get that, but it helps a ton. And obviously a duster. Just be careful, use like a microfiber cloth. You don't want to damage anything. So yeah, I would protect as much as possible. And then, yeah, you just gotta like maybe make one day per week or every other week. Like, this is my dusting day for an hour. I just dust stuff. That would be my suggestion. Question: is there any like concrete reason why Mattel is not doing new movie releases, just less movie releases for economic reasons? Guys, I don't know. Like, I would love for them to do that. I don't see why they aren't doing it at this point, or at least not mixing some in. I mean, we have to remember last year, does Masha really count? Masha doesn't appear in Cars 1. Masha is not like Fiber Fuel does not actually have a pit crew in Cars 1, which is crazy, but it's true, along with a bunch of other of the teams. Jonathan Gearson, therefore, is the only like technical like movie slash show release. So yeah, I don't know. I hope we'll see more soon. I think right now it just we're so far removed from the movies that they are trying to create a lot of new, fresh ideas, and that's why we're getting all this expanded universe stuff. But see, back in the day, we used to get that on top of a bunch of new movie releases. I mean, we're getting the Transcontinental Race of Champions series. We were getting Fireball Beach and Thomasville. When can we possibly see 2027 reveals and any updates on the F1 diecast? So the F1 diecast should be coming like any day. I would imagine we'll see a picture or some sort of reveal for that. I would prefer F1, by the way, to that question, Daniel. But 2027, I would expect reveals for that to start in, let's say, August, late August, if we're lucky, but definitely into September. We'll see how it all goes, though. I mean, it very sporadic. There's no schedule to it. Obviously, Mattel doesn't like reveal stuff or announce it themselves. They don't have any events in which they could do that. Unfortunately, I wish they did. Obviously, like sources like Take Five a Day don't really do that anymore. And so we're just left up to, the whims of reveals. And just, those are impossible to predict. Frost Shock F1. So we only know about the 3-pack, but I'm pretty confident that we are going to see a lot more. It's like if they're going to dip their toes in the water, they're going to put their whole foot in. Like, we're going to get quite a few F1 cars, I would guess. Maddox, how do I manage to make 20-minute long reviews on single? Sorry for the interruption there, guys. Not quite sure what happened. Is everyone still around? Can everyone hear me? I apologize for the interruption there, guys. Really, really apologize. I had an alarm that went off. Oh man, we lost a bunch of viewers. Guys, get back in here. I do have the re-release Octane Gain Haul. You can actually see it back there. I appreciate you guys coming back. Had a little minor interruption there, but we should be good to go. Yeah, welcome back. Guys, get back in here. We're not done yet. I appreciate it, guys. What do you guys want to see here? When do you think What do you think will be included in the next case? Well, I revealed the next couple cases already, so you could check that out on the channel. Guys, thanks for filtering back in here. Tam, I have told you guys as much as I possibly know and can about 2027. I do own Cars VHS. 3 a.m. in Italy, but still here. I appreciate that. Favorite RSM reporter? That's a tough question. Do all the camera cars count as reporters in your eyes? Yeah, we'll show some prototypes here. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of the bag clips though. We're almost back to pre-interruption numbers on the viewership, so I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are the best. This is my first stream in a long time, so some technical difficulties, just some growing pains, but like I said, guys, I think, yeah, I do think Lewis Hamilton has to be included in the F1 collab. I would be shocked if he's not. I would really, truly be shocked if he's not included. But who knows with Mattel? Who knows? Do you think Mattel will ever release the Cars 2 versions of Mia and Tia? No. But fun fact, if you don't know, the Disney Store did the Cars 2 versions of Mia and Tia in a massive set, like a 124 scale kind of turntable with McQueen. It's very, very hard to describe. You have to know what I'm talking about. But if you truly do want the Cars 2 versions of Mia and Tia, they do exist by some company. But I don't think Mattel will ever do it. What was the first car you ever collected? I think it was like just McQueen Mater, but there was like a little light up version that's like a little light, a Mater light, which was definitely my first cars item. I know it's a weird, weird thing, but yeah, that was my first cars item. Which movie or series would you say has the coolest or most unique characters slash diecasts? Cars 2, honestly, because went so international. You got 118, Jordan. Thank you. Appreciate that correction. But yeah, no, Cars 2, because of the international scale, we got just so many different facets of the universe. It grew so much. So I think that is an easy answer to that. Although, probably wouldn't say it's the best Cars movie. I think a lot of you guys would agree with me on that. Is there a chance Deluxes come back? I really don't think so. I don't even mean to be like a pessimist, but it's hard for me to say that they're going to come back when they've been gone for several years now. And Deluxes just, yeah, I don't know if there was a reason that they got canceled in the first place. Really am not confident that they will ever come back. Mattel has now shown that they're just going to rescale stuff. Now, does that mean that they could ever re-release cars like Miss Fritter? I do think Miss Fritter could get rescaled, but yeah, like we talked about Frank, there are some that I just don't see possible ever getting rescaled. Will I watch the World Cup? Yeah, I'll probably watch some of it. Would like to get into that as well. I like big events like that, big like, once in a few years type events. So, yeah, Sleeping Sheriff, that would be an interesting one. Although, again, not something I don't think Mattel is necessarily considering based on their current trends. 2027 will be 5 years since the last deluxe case. Yeah, that is correct because we got 1 year of deluxes in Red Riders. We had 1 year of them, and that was it. And those deluxes like Kingpin no Buniga are very rare. Although was Kingpin technically, I think Kingpin was 2021. But yeah, even the 2022 deluxes are pretty rare. They didn't do anything new that year, like just re-releases, Craig Faster and all that. Are they re-releasing the Motor Speedway the South for the 20th anniversary? Absolutely not. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's definitely not happening. Would be cool though, but yeah, not happening. What was the name of the company that sponsored you in 2017 for the Cars 2 lineup? It was a eBay seller. I think it was like a Maze Boys Toys or something like that. They don't exist anymore though. But yeah, they sent me a lot of free cars, which is pretty awesome. Do I have any pets, Maddox? Yeah, I have 3 dogs. Big dog fan. I love animals just in general. But let's steer back onto the car subject. When will Kyle Carson come out? Hopefully within the next couple months. But again, it's really hard to say. I am worried about it because of the lack of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s in circulation. Amazing, amazing boys toy co. Yeah, it's something like that. Rolling Bowling Mater probably not coming back. I would be surprised if we saw Rolling Bowling Mater ever back, which is fine. Some of this stuff is meant to just kind of stay in the past. and create that level of intrigue, right? Deluxe in packs. I mean, again, we just saw red get downscaled in a 2 pack, so yeah, probably gonna say no to that as well. A race to celebrate Snot Rod would be cool, but we kind of have that. We're going to get that, I believe, in color changers, mini racers, and the light up line. Best cars memory. Best cars memory. It might be just me seeing the movie the first time, or probably finding some of the cars in stores. I'd really have to dig through the memory banks on that though. All right. Let's get into some fun stuff, guys. Let's get that viewership count back up to the pre-interruption numbers. Pipe and Miles and movie style. We'll see how they do the Lightning Racer stuff. I really have no idea. 50 pack of race damage cars, one. That would be wild. Absolutely wild. Aaron kind of fast custom. It's a very doable custom now that we have all these factory customs of Mr. Drippy around. Let's do an unboxing of this Dynaco pack. Now, if you guys can guess what I need this Roger Wheeler for, because the King, unfortunately, I mean, we can make a custom of the King, video game paint job, but if you guys can guess what this Roger Wheeler is being used for, another shout out in the books. Nice little Cars 1 crew chief. Easy hint. King's looking really nice as well. From New China, I did this review. Dale Earnhardt Jr. crew chief. That's actually not a bad idea at all. We never saw what his crew chief looked like, so it can be really whatever I want it to be. Rev and Go Chief. Bingo. Luck Films official. That is correct. It is going to be a Rev and Go crew chief. If someone else said that, I apologize. I don't think anyone else did. But yes, Rev and Go crew chief, 100%. RPM chief already exists. I actually have a custom Mood Springs chief already. That'll be in the video in the future. Any thoughts on Cars 2 DS Guido skins custom? I don't no idea what that even is. Chucky is just there randomly. Chucky is just kind of chilling, but a fun little Cars 1 character. Yeah, Rev and Go Tommy is Tommy Trackmaster Cam. Yeah, it's going to be a Rev and Go crew chief. But if you guys remember, I said I need 2. So what is the other crew chief going to be? Vinyl Toupee crew chief. Yeah, I could do that too. That's also within the cards because we don't see it in the movie. So it could be whatever model. Gaskets. Yep. Piston Cup. Gojira. If I pronounce that correctly, that is correct. It's going to be gaskets. Pretty easy for both because we know based on some magazine images, believe it or not, that they were going to be that pickup truck model. Do I have any wacky factory customs to show? Yeah, I do. In fact, I have a lot that more kind of verge on just knockoffs and fakes. But yeah, I do have some factory customs mixed in here as well. Like this Rust-eze Rap Mater, which actually is one of my favorites because he technically does appear in Cars 3. Mattel never did him. But yeah, he appeared at the end in the credits sequence. And here he is. This is actually an expression variant. They've done this before. The factory customizers, that is, in a different expression. And then I just recently got this one because I like the expression on this one a lot more. Pretty high quality. If we can get the viewers up to 160, guys, that would be awesome. And then we could start the room tour. But I want as many people to be here as possible for it. Is that the Boca? What? Didn't they do him as a mini racer? I don't. Did they do Rust-eze Rap Mater as a mini? I think they did some of them. I'm not sure they did all of them. Guys, have you seen these things yet? These like tuned versions of some of the main characters. So you have McQueen here, plastic bodies, but metal bases. So they aren't full like plastic, cheap. Actually, pretty nice quality. I see some ooze and like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, no, they are a little strange, but they're being found in European countries. I believe these specifically came from the Netherlands. Probably won't see them for sale like in major markets though, but rather places that you wouldn't find diecast in, which is kind of interesting. It's like, all right, you're not gonna find them at major stores that sell Disney cars regularly, but you might find them at some like weird kind of foreign international I don't want to say knockoff, probably more like grocery type stores. Color changers, celebration Lima Queen soon. Yes, I will be doing a dedicated review on this guy within the next couple days, so you guys can stay tuned for that. Looks pretty cool. I like the yellow so far. We'll see how he transitions, but it's, yeah, pretty standard red to yellow. So I anticipated actually looking pretty good. I have that funky made or loose here as well. So I wanted to show you guys that if you're interested. Yeah, you can see the metal base there rolls really well. These are not stickers either. Like that is a decal. Really, really good. I have Sally, although this one is unspun. It's not fully riveted. Tui Cars unboxings. Happy 20th anniversary of Cars. Yeah, they do remind me of the McDonald's cars from 2006 a little bit for sure. I have a theory the movie re-release will probably happen on September 5th for McQueen Day. That's very possible. That is very possible. Do you think there will be a Cars 4 to celebrate the 20th anniversary? Well, there definitely won't be a Cars 4 this year. But as we were talking about earlier, I do think there will be a Cars 4 eventually. That's my formal prediction. I have prototypes here of the Doc and Sheriff. Like, I don't even know what to call these, right? Tuned, basic collection. I don't know. They are cute though, right? They are cute. All right, guys. Let's unbox this other 2-pack here. Some ASMR. So these are all getting shipped off to Jim Scavenger to be repurposed into customs. Of course, gaskets, Rev and Go crew chief, the King. Maybe we'll find a purpose with them as well. Some video game paint jobs. Why would the Disney CEO allow a Cars 4 if the box office disaster of Cars 3? I wouldn't call it a disaster. Certainly didn't make as much money as they would have wanted to. I do actually already have a tank coat crew chief, so I don't need that. What happened with your Miles Axelrod with open hood broke in the 12 days of Christmas? Yeah, I think the hood like wouldn't stay up. I'm not sure. That's in the collection somewhere. I don't display my Thailand variant, so Vitaline Chief, specifically Cars 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what that looks like. Mood Springs Chief, I already have. I already have, and we can look at that actually at some point. Gotta get the viewership back up here. I do think it's time to walk around the room a little bit. How about that, guys? Let's get this back up to 150. Share this out to your friends because I want as many people here for the room tour as possible. Maybe I could even be convinced to open up one of those light up cars. Do I have a lot of competition when it comes to collecting? Yeah, I mean, there's always people out there vying for these cars in the stores. More than often, I get slopped, as I like to call it, where I just find remnants of a case. I found it today. I found a bunch of the 20th anniversary case H stuff. Nothing good though. Most of it was Cars 3, which I would much rather see Cars 1 20th anniversary stuff. Do you still have that weird Dale Earnhardt prototype? Yeah, of course. Not like I'm gonna give it away. It's one of my prized possessions. Did it kind of bother in Cars 1 where pickup trucks and SUVs have race car rims? Not really sure what you're referring to. Do you have the 2007 Sarge Recall variant? I might, but that's something that just doesn't really interest me all that much. So, what happened with your Throwback Thursday series? A lot of new stuff has been coming out, and I have prioritized that. Not to say I will never do a Thursday like throwback video again, but I prioritize just new stuff. We have Forlorn Favorites going right now. Most expensive car would come down to some of the prototypes or canceled cars. What about the videos in Spanish? ¿Qué tal los videos en español? Posiblemente en el futuro. Can't talk in Spanish too long. We'll lose too many viewers. I'm sorry. But yes, I want to do a lot of different things, guys, but there's only so much time in the day. We're going to start the room tour. even though the viewers are down to 109. Who cares? You guys are a lucky 109. Who exactly is Cat Targaffian? You're gonna see here soon. So we're going to dismount. Will I ever do a meet and greet? I don't know if there's enough demand for something like that in my area. All right, here we go, guys. Let's walk around here. So, like I said, it's a bit of a mess. I got stuff everywhere. Got some of your new two packs over there. Got some of the 20th anniversary singles here. You guys saw that stuff already. You saw that in these crates are a lot of cool cars, not gonna lie. You got some of the new 20th anniversary haulers there. I did show you I have the Octane Game one. I found one. Found a lot of remnants though, because yeah, competition is abundant here in the area, especially for items like that. So yeah, this is something that I want to clean up because in this glass display case is my Motor Speedway at the South set, along with a big like styrofoam Barney Stormin prototype. Some of those loose cars in there are my originals from 2006, made in Thailand. That's right. Are we back? Are we back? Can you guys hear me? Are we back? Holy cow, we're back. Wow. All right. Well, for anyone that's still here, we're going to just keep rolling. We're going to resume the room tour. Hopefully, it wasn't the room tour, like me getting out of the chair that caused the lag. That makes no sense. As somebody who works in IT, would make no sense for me just standing up to cause that kind of lag. I appreciate everyone that's still here and stayed. So let's keep rolling. Let's get back up. Now, on my end, it looks like the lag started when I was over this table here, and that's kind of where it froze. So we're gonna just go back around. Yeah, I'm watching the stream on my laptop, and we're back, boys. Yeah, we are. I was literally about to end it, guys. I was like inches away from tapping my hand, my finger on the X button. So yeah, glass table here. Let me know any questions about what we're looking at. And there are no more questions, then we will move on to the next item. I saw another comment saying lag. That would really make me sad if we're still lagging. Yeah, we're up to 70 somehow. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking back on my audio starts out there. We're gonna move away from this area. Maybe it's just a cursed area. So we're just gonna go over here. We're gonna go as far away as possible from that area. Maybe there's just something that's interfering. Lag starting up. That is so tough. Wow. I can't believe that area over there. We're just never going over there again. Frame rate is going down. Yeah, we're just battling through it. Like that is just what we're doing here. It's the 20th anniversary of cars, so we're just battling. Siberian Rabbit Wi-Fi. It's yeah, I don't know what's going on. Where's Chick at the bottom? Chick has sacrificed himself to be on the table. So he's chilling over there on the table. Yeah, my Wi-Fi seems to be actually fine because like my laptop, which I have going simultaneously, is good. So yeah, I don't know. We're just not going to go over there. The red Bob Cutlass is actually a car from Cars 2 that shares the same model as Bob Cutlass or close to it. So that's a custom. Looks like you guys can actually see and hear everything pretty good. Let me know if not. What a shame for Wolverine. Yeah, and Deadpool. Deadpool's over there too, guys. We fight for the 20th. Yeah, we do. Should we just go inside? That might not even be a good idea. Check out that cool little painting from NCAP Cars there on the back. How rare is Fabrizio? Nothing crazy, not like super rare. Where's my boy Seth Freewill? Seth Freewill is in the canceled car case. He is not mixed in with the general public. Yeah, no, Bob Cutlass was released as a color changer. This is not it though. We have a Bernie Banks custom down here, another custom camera crew. Where will I display the light ups? I have no idea. Going to have to figure that one out. Hopefully, when I get the expansion done, the renovation, I will have a spot for it. Got a bunch of Disney Store stuff up here, but it's really inaccessible. A Kathy Ringman fold. Yeah, that is a custom. That is a custom. You're right. Good eye. Good eye. Yeah, we got some Disney Store stuff up here. It's really tough to get to the stuff in the back, but I had to make this double layered to fit a bunch of stuff, and that's still not even enough, right? I still have a bunch of Disney Store stuff in storage. Yeah, we got the ice racers. Got my favorite stuff out front, the stuff that I pull for reviews. Most security guard fin up there. I know someone shouted that out. Yeah, some cool Disney Store stuff. Do I own all the Tomica stuff? No, not even close. I'm afraid to venture over to this side, so we might not even go over there because of afraid of the lag. I was telling you guys probably didn't even hear. I got this on clearance for $6. I have no idea how, considering it's still being sold, but I do plan to review that soon. I even have a prototype of that Frank over here. You can see him on the table, but you can see how messy this is now. You guys can truly see that this is just such a mess. All my cacti have fallen. Very sad. Mike '07 unfortunately did not make the cut for the anniversary party because he doesn't appear in anything. His short got canceled. So sorry, dude. Get out of here. Have you ever seen the Canadian Grand Prix? Yeah, I actually watched a good amount of that because it was on Netflix. I don't have Apple TV, which is where all the other F1 races are. Got my plaque here. The best townie, Mike '07. Yeah. Well, technically, he is kind of a townie. He was for a little bit. He was for a wee bit. Down here, we got some prototypes and canceled cars, just a mix. It's kind of become a catch-all receptacle at this point. So there's really no rhyme or reason as to what's in here, but there is something pretty substantial in here. If you guys can see it in the back there, you guys see the Holy Grail way in the back. Let's get you a gold plaque. I would love a gold plaque, but I feel like the only way I can get a gold plaque is to not have all this live stream lag. Some random Disney Store helicopters in there as well. We got more Disney Store stuff over here. Some of the newer Disney Store stuff, some of the rarer Disney Store stuff, like the Christmas ones, not the new Christmas one, old Christmas ones. You know, Fari, TJ, Hummer, those are some of the rarest. Do you know where cars will come out in Australia? Yeah, they're in the main lines. They absolutely will. More Cars Tune stuff in here, animated all the way in the back. Oh, making my way back, trying to make my way back, trying to come back, guys, trying to come back. Oh, we might be back. We might be back. Yeah, it's the cancellator's fault. You're right. It's the cancellator's fault. Guys, I just want to say I'm sorry about the lag. I will make sure this never happens again. We will do another stream to make up for this, but I appreciate all you guys who have stuck around. I really appreciate everyone. Means the world to me that you guys are all still here. Truly. I'm not just saying that. I don't know what caused the lag, but somehow we've returned. We're battling. Thanks for deciding to subscribe, Jonas. I appreciate that. Evil Large Mater ruined it. Yeah, it was probably, yep, yep, yep. You're right. You know, it was his fault right over there. Dracula Mater, popcorn bucket, just cursed me. So, guys, since it appears walking around the room has caused some issues, we are going to focus on my table here. I have a lot of stuff on the table, and I want you guys to point out what is like crazy, what you have questions about. Are we all still here? Let's get a little like chant going in the group chat. Can you hear me? Are we good? Are we back? I think they're pointing at you with the all-in-all camera. That's a great reference. I think you're right. Please come to Brazil one day. They don't speak Spanish though, so a little deterred. If I'm going to South America, probably going to go to a Spanish-speaking country. Why are there two Luigis? Where's this? Oh, the other Luigi's the collectible bag clip that I unboxed at the beginning of the stream. Somehow we're back to 120 viewers. I love you guys. You guys are the best. All right, let's go. Let's get hype. Does this mean we're not doing the full collection video today? The full collection video was never going to happen today. Not sure where that misconception started. You're not the only one who thought that. The full collection video will happen in a couple months, probably August, if I had to guess. But my collection is going through a massive renovation slash expansion. I want that to be completed before we do the full collection video. So, yeah, we got Zombie Ivy. We got a lot of customs, lots of knockoffs, some really cool stuff, guys, that hasn't made its way into a Giga Haul yet. Domain expansion that is 100% accurate. Got some fun stuff mixed in here. Got the Black Frank prototype. I was trying to show you guys that. You might not have even have seen it because of the lag. How many Leland turbos do I have? I don't know. I think I have one packaged and one loose. Got some 2011 color. More lag. Really sad. Looks like we're back though. So going in and out. I'm working on some technical stuff behind the scenes. So we could be trending in the right direction here. Evil Mater, telekinesis powers, yeah. I'm glad we're back. We're fighting, guys. Resilient, not going away quietly tonight. We're trying to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cars in its absolute fullest. Yeah, YouTube just hates standing tonight. I don't know what it is. So I'm just planted, seated in my chair, but don't want that to stop us from trying to show you guys some cool stuff. What do you guys want to do? You guys want Q&A? YouTube channel guy talking speed race? What? I think the table doesn't like you leaving. Yeah, it's very factual. I wasn't even gonna leave. I was just kind of standing up to give you guys a better view of the table. Have you seen Cars today? I didn't see Cars. I would watch Cars today, but instead I decided to do the live stream here with you guys. More Q&A, yeah. That works. Keep the questions flowing. Somehow up to 112. Yes, I have a girlfriend. Seen that question now 7 times. Do you have the Dr. Frankenwagon from Monster Truck Mayor? Yes, I have the one the Disney store did, and I have a 3D printed custom. What if Shoe to the Roki, Nigel Gearsley, Miguel Camilo, and Max Schnell have a movie? That would be crazy. Evil Mater Supremacy. Yeah, we're just not even gonna look his direction. You watched all the Cars movies today. That's great. Are the Evil Mater popcorn buckets at Disneyland? Yeah, they were. Don't think they're selling them anymore, but they have a Lightning McQueen popcorn bucket that lights up that just came out. So they are continuing to make new popcorn buckets. I mean, they did a regular Mater, then they did Santa Mater, and then they did Dracula Mater, and now they're doing Lightning McQueen. So that's pretty good streak. You got 4 almost every year, one every year. What would Danny Hamlin's name be if he was in the NASCAR line? I have no idea. Probably would have to carify the Hamlin, right? What's a good H car word? Collectors to make mainline. Yeah, they should. They should hire me. Is your network or Wi-Fi not stable? Yeah, I guess it was something with the Wi-Fi, but clearly it had something to do with me getting up and walking around. which is just weird. Very strange. Like moving the camera shouldn't cause that. Revlin Holland. I like Denny Holland. What a very laggy live stream. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm sorry. Gonna try to make sure this never happens again, but we're just chugging along. Do you think Mattel will stay with the new anniversary packaging or go back to Red Riders? I think they'll stick with this design, just remove the 20th logo. I think that's the most logical explanation. It's a great design. And I feel like they're not just going to use it for like a few months. Like, I think they're committing to this cross color changers, this light up stuff, two packs, multi packs. If you're from the UK, the girl is a fan of everything. It must be pretty late for you. So I appreciate you still being here. I appreciate you still being here. Yeah, I love the design too. What is your favorite canceled car? Such a tough question. I love my Chuck Shocks, which is a Plains character, even though it's just a prototype. 6 in California. Yeah, not too bad over there. We need a 5 pack with GRC, Nigel, Rip, Jeff Lewis, and Carnival Frosty, because why not? Yeah, that would be great because Mattel would then acknowledge that they didn't do that, go back and do it, and then they'd have to do still GRC Frosty. What age did I start collecting, and what did your parents think about you spending so much money on cars? My parents really don't like me spending lots of money on cars. So I started when I was 5 because that's when the first movie came out. And since I didn't make any money at the time, besides like a little allowance from doing chores around the house, I relied on gifts, gift money, and all that stuff. And yeah, it was well because that's what I wanted for Christmas. I mean, can't really say no and be like, no, you're getting something else. And I was like, that's what I wanted. So that's what they got me. They're very supportive of it. And eventually started making my own money through work. And they've retained their support. And it's not like I go crazy buying every car I see. So as long as you got good balance. Disney Store Frank, I do not have. What's your favorite Cars 2 custom? I feel like that's the movie I have the least amount of customs from. I really would like a Carl Halsemoff. My favorite Cars 2 custom. Gosh, I have so many Cars 1 customs. You know what? This might be the easy answer because it's within my reach. But Zill's a pretty cool Cars 2 custom. Even though he technically didn't appear, he was going to. He was originally planned and scrapped. Yeah, I did a review on this guy a couple years ago. If you want to check that out. But yeah, really cool custom here. Probably one of my most unique customs. Actually, in scale too. Race and Rescue Lewis Hamilton. Wow. Since they did Jeff Corvette, so you just never know. It could have been possible. I'll cheat and say the FC Memo and Flash or the Sunjin Go. Sunjin Go is pretty good. That was one of my favorites too. But yeah, factory customs, like the Chrome Flash and Memos, those are really nice. Yeah. Those are over. Don't want to move the camera. I don't want to touch it. We're just gonna stay put, I guess, for the remainder of the stream here. But yeah, they're over here on my right side. Carson Motor Car is a good car if I name for the Harv car. Hav Hosavar. Is that how it's pronounced? Hosavar? Race and Rescue. Chris Freeman. That actually would have made sense. Because they did do Adam Rodriguez. Peyton G is cooking with that idea. Is that who said the Chris Freeman thing? Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a fantastic idea. User MZ7, bunch of letters and numbers. Mr. D, I've been a fan for a long time. Last night I got acknowledged by another one of my favorite cars YouTubers. Will you be the second one? Yes, I will. But you got to edit your username to something that's not just user and a bunch of randomly generated numbers and letters. There is a custom R&R Stu scatter shields out there. Jim Scavenger did one using a very beat up Stu scatter shields. The problem is that he's so rare that sacrificing a Stu scatter shields is a true financial just almost disaster. I mean, that's like $100+ car, even in not great condition. He suggested that you end each review by showing us where you slot that car into your collection. That is a great idea, actually. Problem is, recently, a lot of my cars that I finished reviewing have just remained on the table. Like with the race to celebrate cars. Yeah, it's just I don't have room right now. I'm waiting for this renovation to be done, but that's definitely something we could do in the future. I do still have the display from the Peterson Museum that is in my basement. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, it is just hard to find space for the ever growing collection, but we are working toward something really, really cool for the collection here. And you'll see that in the new collection video in a couple months, hopefully sooner. Just depends on when the construction's over. Got to get a lot of stuff going. I need to tell you this, Mr. Doc. I have been a fan of you since I watched the custom race damage Piston Cup Racers video. Thank you, Jennifer. That is my most popular video. I really appreciate it. Can't believe it's been 8 years since that video, minus 1 month. Thank you, McQueen's biggest fan. Yeah, a lot of people came through that Damaged Racers video, so I've doubled down and made a lot of Damaged Racers videos since then. How do you already have the race to celebrate? My targets only have one color changer and nothing else. So the race to celebrate Mater and McQueen from the main line, I found, yeah, so him and him at Meyer, which is only in the Midwest. But it's showing up at a lot of Target stores across the country. And even in Illinois, where I'm from, I just haven't found it there yet. I found remnants of the case. The light ups are pretty scarce so far. They haven't made it to a major retailer yet. But yeah, the 2 packs are out. You just gotta Kohl's, Target, Meyer, check all the spots. Race to Celebrate Mac would be really cool if they could like come up with a cool design that looks like how Mater and McQueen and them all look and just kind of project it across the whole side of the truck. That'd be really cool. Jonas from Singapore. Wish my country had the same variety. Which diecast do you have the most nostalgia towards? Ah, yeah, I mean, it's hard not to say like the originals from the Desert line in 2006. 38.814 watching for 6 years since that damage video. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you saying that. Do you know when the race and rescue Mac and garage playsets are coming out? Should be like very soon, within the next couple weeks, because Target just started to list some of the new stuff for race and rescue, like the trash talkers, track talkers, and the 4 pack with red. When is the 20th McQueen and Hudson 2 pack releasing? Probably in a couple months. That's still probably a little ways away, considering there's a 2 pack case that is just hitting, with Buzz and Woody and all that. That'll be first. The Fresh Trunk, are the light ups and color changer McQueen the next reviews? Yes, they will be. Not sure the order. Probably going to focus on Wingo first. I anticipate that being the most popular, so I'll probably do him first if you guys agree with that. Would you be open for Mattel to do collaborations with other franchises like TMNT or Spider Man, for example? No, I would not. I'm sorry. It's too weird for me. What do you want the most as a color changer? Hmm. I've always wanted like a regular Chick Hicks. I feel like there's some other great ones out there. Holly Shiftwell. Just thinking about cars with a lot of surface area, not too many decals, which I know is not what Chick Hicks is, but yeah, I mean, I think even Lizzie's very doable. Or like a regular red tractor. Oh man, just imagine a tractor color changer. That'd be so cool. I think it's doable, guys. What hauler do you want them to make for Cars 1 minus the canceled ones, but new ones? So not a canceled one, but still a new one. Well, there's still a bunch of Piston Cup haulers that they could have done that they didn't even plan, they didn't cancel. So that is definitely something I would probably posit. Or truck stop haulers. My favorite video that you made is the what if McQueen said yes to Dinoco. Yeah, that was a great video, but unfortunately it got sentenced to made for kids. So I'm a little afraid to do anything like that again. I definitely plan to do it, but that kind of derailed my plans a little bit. So we'll see. Have to have a really good idea for it though. It has to be a really good what if scenario. Do you think we'll see Damage McQueen as a diecast one day? I just don't think so. If they were going to do it, they would have by now. Only took them 3 years to do Damage the King. And it's now been, like we talked about, 8, 9 years since Cars 3. So I just don't see it happening. We did get the new McQueen with headset. I just don't think Damage McQueen's in the cards at this point. I mean, McQueen with headset's a lot more obscure variant. So I understand it took them a little longer to do that. But they did do the mini racer quite a while ago. Do you think we could get the rest of the glow up tuner? Not really sure what you mean by that. When's the gold McQueen coming out? Don't know. We will see how that's even released. Don't even know how that's going to be available. Are you going to do a review on the Finish Line McQueen from Thailand? I plan on it. I have one ready to go. I don't know how many cars I have in my collection, Hayden. Lot. I just don't know an exact count. And I don't know what you would consider, like, what would you want me to count? All my package stuff too? Muppets in the Cars world, again, it's too weird. Sorry. Muppets are cool though. I like the Muppets. But in the Cars world, it's a little too crazy for me. I do collect all the mini racers. I have a whole case of them that I showed earlier. We were lagging a little bit as we were walking around the room, so that's why we were planted here, but there's still a ton of stuff here on the table that I've been trying to show you guys. And yeah, we're going on almost 2 hours for the stream here, which is awesome. Appreciate that there's still 130 people in the stream. Most amount of money you've spent on a car? I've spent hundreds of dollars on certain prototypes and canceled cars. Do I remember everything I have? I remember every like loose car I have. But if you ask me, do I have like the 2007 Sally in the package? I don't quite remember that. But that's why I have a spreadsheet that keeps track of all the cars I have. So, package that is. So, I could just refer to that. But keeping that update is truly what's the obstacle, right? Is making sure I am diligent in updating my spreadsheet. Favorite canceled haul or retread? What if the tuners didn't cause McQueen to get lost? That's a good what if, Blues. It's a good what if. I'm trying to think. What if the tuners didn't cause McQueen to get lost and McQueen just continued on his journey in Mac to the LA Speedway? He would have been the first one there because Mac, obviously persisted on, right? And made it there first, just with an empty trailer. Well, I think McQueen would have gone on to lose the Piston Cup. Probably, God, I don't know, man. Trying to think how that last race would have gone if McQueen didn't know the turn right to go left. And yeah, he didn't have a team. He probably could have like hired a team though in the meantime. So I don't think the team necessarily would have been an issue. Wouldn't have had as fast of a pit stop. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one to think about. Do I plan on getting the Disney Store Mac? It would be cool, but it's very expensive. So that would be a big one to bite off. What if Fillmore didn't change McQueen's fuel at the end of Cars 2? He would have blown up. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. They don't have Damage McQueen. Yeah, Damage McQueen's never been released. Racing Canes is okay. It's okay. Cramerica Industries, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, but it means the world to me. Do you find it odd that we never actually see McQueen win a Piston Cup? Yeah, I do. And I really wish he did. I really wish he did. I would have loved to have seen McQueen like in his true peak in the movies. I guess that's kind of Cars 2. I mean, he did race really well throughout Cars 2, but we just see him win the Porta Corsa race, right? So yeah, it's a tough bridge to cross there with that. Just really, yeah. I feel like we were owed McQueen winning like a Piston Cup in true like high stakes fashion, not just him winning a couple small races here and there. The beginning of Cars 3 and the Porta Corsa race. What if McQueen won the race in Tokyo? I don't think much would have changed. Yeah, Cars 2 is probably his peak. It's probably when he was the most effective. Arby's, it's okay. I'm not a big frequenter of Arby's. A lot of fast food questions. Wingstop is good though. I have a McDonald's Lightning McQueen that I plan to review in the future. Do you find it odd that after Cruz beats Jackson Storm, he never appears on screen for the rest of Cars 3? No, I don't find it odd. I don't think it was needed that we see Jackson again. I heard somewhere that Finn McMissile was going to be able to fly originally. Do you think it would have been way too OP or would it be cool? Yeah, I do think it probably would have been too OP, but it definitely would have been cool. But we see him do a ton of other cool stuff throughout the movie. So I'm totally fine with that not being included in the movie. Do you think any deluxes deserve to be downscaled? No, I don't think any deluxe is too big if that's what you're asking, but I do think that there are some out there like Miss Fritter or RV or Dr. Damage. Dr. Damage could probably be fine just as is as a single, but I think there's some out there like Topper Deckington's another one that we could definitely see. I'm literally looking in the background there. Downscale. I think those could definitely get downscaled as they're pretty popular releases, and I don't think Mattel wants to put them in a position where they could never re-release them again. My favorite World Grand Prix racer is Rip Klitschkonski. Oh my god, the fresh trunk is back. If you were tasked with working on a Disney Store artist series, what types of designs would you use? It's a great question. Wow. I would try and do something different, right? Something that we haven't seen before, something very unique and eye-catching. I'm honestly kind of leaning toward maybe think about like a little paint splatter design or a floral design. You know what? I'm gonna say floral. I would do McQueen, Mater, and Ramon. Let's just go with those three because that's a trio that they used a lot in the Disney Store artist series. And floral designs. I'm a big floral guy. Real car. Well, I have a Corvette, so that's my dream car, and I have it. It's pretty awesome. What's your favorite version of Sally? Oh, I like the road trip Sally a lot, and Sally with Cone is very, very nostalgic. If I did an art series, it would look like Bob Pulley. So the blue ones, yeah, the blue and white ones. Pencil sketch, yeah, that'd be cool. Where did you find the Race to Celebrate light up? These guys, I just got them on the Whatnot show, but they're only being found at like some weird grocery stores in the US. Is the box in the Jerry Recycle battery hauler smoking a cigar? What? No, no cigars here. What color is your Corvette? It's like a metallic red, because obviously red's my favorite color. Because obviously I do know Piston Cup Productions. Do you have the world record? Not technically. The world record belongs to some guy in Mexico. The thing is about getting the world record for the largest cars collection, you have to go through a lot of hoops. When I was looking into doing it, they said you got to film it all in one swoop and all the cars have to be like together in one room, like one spot. Diecast Dungeon legit to buy older cars from? Yeah, absolutely. And he will put in the title if it's fake, if it's a factory custom. Just read the titles. Yeah, no, you have to like I would have to take all of this down, all the cars off the shelves and put them like basically in a big pile and then film it all in one fell swoop. So it's just not worth it to me at all. You have a DeLorean, that's awesome. That is something I've actually always wanted to have. Maybe one day. Just so it's still like is a timeless design, very futuristic. Where do you get the Race to Celebrate prototypes? I have some contacts in China that helped out with that. Of course, I remember the short Mater and the Ghost Light. In honor of Cars' 20th anniversary, can you please discuss the history of your Cars collecting journey? Well, I mean, I started in 2006 because I really loved the movie as a kid, and it just grew and grew and grew from there. And I started watching Cars reviews on YouTube from a guy called TF Cars 95. I absolutely adored his videos. He would review cars in batches. Like, so he would review like 6 or 7 or maybe even more cars in a single go. And he would just call them like Pixar Cars 1. That would be a video of like the first set and Pixar Cars all the way up. He probably did almost like 50 of them. Unfortunately, he stopped making videos. I haven't I actually got in touch with him at some point, but I haven't talked to him in over 10 years, probably even more than that. And so that inspired me to make the YouTube videos. And I found some success on here. Cars 3 helped out a lot. I don't think Mattel will ever release Keith Gremlin. Sorry, Commander Gree. But yeah, that is my journey. I started watching your videos since I saw the Hunt episode 1. Yeah. Hunt, thank you for coming in at that series. Such an awesome series. A lot of history showing off what stores look like in a given time period. And I think looking back on all those videos will be really rewarding. So Daniel, I have not recently gone to Cars Land. I was there last in 2016, November of 2016. So it's been a while. Do you think Cars 2 re-releases, new ones are done? So new Cars 2 releases, yeah. Now I'm gonna say there's gotta be something new eventually. It was my favorite video I've ever made, probably my recent collection video, the one from 2024. But my favorite video will probably become my new collection video, targeting August to release that. Prefer Disney Store or Mattel Cars? Mattel's better, but the Disney Store has a lot of cool stuff as well. Currently watching all your OG videos on Emmanuel right now. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching all those. Those go back a long, long ways. Favorite expanded universe line? Probably the Carbon Racers from 2016. Do you think they'll release a Cars 4? Yeah, I do. I really do. Talked about this at a different point in the stream. Is Cars Land worth visiting? I'd really like to go one day, but I hear mixed reviews about Disney parks. Yeah, I do think Cars Land is definitely worth going if you're a Cars fan because it's the only place in the world you could ever see something like that. Even the land in Disney World that they're building and the one in Paris are not nearly the same as what they have in California. You literally have Radiator Springs in life size, some really cool rides, some cool merch, just such a unique experience. I mean, I've been there once and it was awesome. One of my favorite trips I've ever taken. So I would definitely recommend it. Is there a way to tell if Cars diecast is fake? Yeah, there absolutely is. Just you gotta know where it's coming from. Take a look at the base. Take a look at the overall quality. How do the eyes look? It's pretty easy to tell a fake from a real one for most of them. For most of them, yeah, Daniel. I plan to go again in the future. I'm going to Disneyland Paris in September, and they have a little cars area there that I am excited to embark upon. Yeah, my first Cars diecast probably was McQueen or Mater, but the thing I remember most is like a light mate. Like it's so hard to describe, but it's basically like a Mater had a light in his hood. Have I been to Williams, Arizona on Route 66? I might have driven past it. I was on Route 66 going from like Flagstaff, Arizona. So I took a road trip one time from Santa Fe, New Mexico, all the way to Las Vegas. So if it's on the road from those 2 points, then yeah, I have kind of maybe even stopped off at the Walmart. What's your current favorite wacky factory custom you have? Might be this Fillmore. Might be this guy. That's pretty cool. The Ross the Chick Hicks I reviewed the other day is also pretty cool. I have a knockoff Frank, or as the Chinese call it, Uncle Cow. Uncle Cow. Maybe some of our Chinese viewers can help us understand how, yeah, kind of saying the Route 66 on Kingstown, Barstow, San Bernardino, something like that. Go something like that. Uncle Cow, yes. How does Frank get translated to Uncle Cow? That is what I want to know. That is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Another one of my favorite, like goofy knockoffs is purple metallic Wingo. I have a red metallic one as well, but the purple one is truly exquisite. How long am I going to stream for? Yeah, these knockoffs are very similar to the Tell All I'm Can Chick X, which I don't have on hand with me right now, but I have a similar Chick X that's just regular hostile takeover bank. I'm going to be streaming for a little bit longer, guys, because I feel bad. There was some lag earlier on the stream. We're still retaining a pretty good amount of views. So if you guys are down, keep rolling with me. And I know people watch from all over the world. So maybe at the beginning of the stream, they're still asleep or whatever, still at work, whatever it might be. So we're just going to keep on rolling for now. Do you think you would ever make any customs? I made the King with headset and I called it a day after that. What advice would you have for new cars content creators? Just be consistent, use what you can. You don't have to seek like spend a ton of money on equipment. Just use your phone, do what you can, and go from there. Have fun with it though. If you're just grinding away at it, it's not going to be successful. But be consistent though. Be consistent. Some crazy questions in here. What if Carlo Veloso had a movie? Do I have any shake and go? I think I have a few. What was your favorite Disney park and what are your favorite Disney park attractions? It's gonna probably be the Magic Kingdom or Epcot. My favorite ride probably be Tron or the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot. I don't need to make any damage racer or video game customs because I have so many great customizers I work with that do all that stuff for me. I just pay them, makes my life easier, and they are just better than me. They're more talented, more artistic than me. I got a question. Where you at? Why did they get so many cars in us? Because there's like barely any in North Carolina. I am in Illinois, and trust me, guys, it's the same all over the place. Some people complain about their Targets and WalMarts, but if you can just go, if you create like a little loop of, let's say, three WalMarts, three Targets, and you go a couple times per week, if you can, you're gonna have success. There might be days where you don't find anything. There might be days where you find remnants of a case, which means someone got there before you and you were just late to the party. And there might be days where you find a whole fresh case. So you just, again, that's also something that you got to be consistent about. Which items am I looking for? Well, we talked about earlier the 2006 sealed set. That's something I would really like to have. Did you hear about the Cars Channel show and tell toys having to delete a bunch of videos? I have no idea anything about that. The Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy roller coasters are incredible. Yes, they are. Would you be down if Mattel made a Universal Monster Car sign? I don't even know what that would entail. Favorite Disney Store Lightning McQueen variant? The lime green dragon McQueen is probably my favorite, and that's why I got a custom done in the 155 scale Mattel Dragon McQueen mold. Lots of questions coming. I love to see it, guys. Roland Bolin Mater diecast question mark? Yes. Carlos a movie. I love that. If you live in North Carolina, I would recommend going to Webb Road Flea Market. Okay, all right. My store's never gotten Case G with Chick Hicks. Again, they might have. You just might not have known it. Would you be down for the Astro Smoky next gen being in every case? Oh my God, Astro Smoky is in the live stream. Daniel, we were talking about this earlier. I have a full-time job. So YouTube, I don't rely on YouTube for income. I just do it for fun. Thanks, Zion. I appreciate that compliment. Favorite abandoned building, not counting Wimpy's waiver. It's very specific that you're ruling that one out. Astro Smoky knows some Chinese. Love that. Maybe you can help us with Uncle Cow. Yeah, so my favorite abandoned building, I don't even know them all. I don't have them all committed to memory. So I'm just gonna say Sparky Sparkplugs because it's probably the most iconic one outside of Wimpy's Wipers that you told me that I can't already say. Would you be interested in voicing a car in the movies? Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. Did Astro Smoky just crash the live stream? Did he just bomb us out of nowhere? Is there a reason why my local Walmarts have no regular two packs? Walmarts don't sell two packs nowhere anymore. They used to, and there was a little period a couple years ago where they had some, but they don't sell two packs now. They haven't for a while. Do you think the PSR is not canceled? What was the PSR? Favorite Tomica variant? My favorite Tomica variant is the Japanese Lightning McQueen, but not the one that looks like Shoot to the Roki. It's a different Japanese McQueen. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yep, Uncle Frank. Do you wish the Precision series was still available? Yeah, of course I do. So that's actually part of the renovation is that I am getting a big table where I am going to put out the entire town. I have customs of the courthouse, the racing museum, of course, Doc's Clinic, and the abandoned buildings, and that is going to all go on the table. So eventually there will come a day where doing videos here, but the background is not Radiator Springs because that will be in a different location. Do you know if there are any Lightning Racers toys in the works? I'm sure there are, but still really far out. Do you have a favorite Mater's Tall Tale? It's going to be Tokyo Mater for me. RST McQueen's pretty cool. Cars fan K7X. We need Greg Candyman with the accurate brown. Yeah, I definitely agree. If the Precision Series was not canned, do you think it would still be going on today? I probably would say no, just because they would have done everything by now. I mean, the Precision Series was canceled long, long ago, so they would have already finished the buildings, and they probably would have done a couple more singular cars like Lizzie and maybe like another variant of McQueen, and that would have been it. Joke if what if Mattel and Tomiko would release the emerald version of Holly Shifwell? What is the emerald version of Holly Shifwell? Got some new viewers sneaking into the stream. I love to see it. Astro Smoky backing me up on the Cars Lightning Racers merch. Zion, I unfortunately don't do birthday requests anymore. Don't play any sports because I'm a working man. My sport is YouTube. What's the best time to go to Target or Walmart to get the best of the best, like before everybody else in the morning? Like, yeah, probably as soon as they open because they try and do a lot of the stocking like before the stores actually open their doors. I know it's hard to get up and go to the store at 8 a.m. And in fact, I hate doing it. I've been to Target at 8 a.m. and they don't even have like any registers open. Like the self checkouts aren't open, and they have maybe like one in person register, and it's a pain in the butt. So sometimes you can get there and it's like too early, but yeah, I mean, it would probably pay off. See quite a few people asking what my full time job is. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, but I work for Northwestern Medicine here in Chicago doing IT project management. Would you have hated it if the characters of Lightning Racers were voiced by kids? I don't think I would have hated it because it is a Disney Junior show. So I really can't like hate on it. I mean, what am I supposed to be like? Oh, this Disney Junior show can't have young voice actors. Like, no, I think it would have been par for the course. How's life treating you? It's been great. The Cars Nerd. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Thank you guys all for coming in. How'd you afford all those cars as a kid? Well, my parents helped me out a lot. I used to be a golf manager. I'm not anymore. Don't work at the country club anymore. Yeah, I mean, lots of gifts, gift money that was put to cars. I started working though when I was 13. Got my first job when I was 13. And so I had money coming in with no bills to pay, which is huge. Did you know that the RPM crew chief is white, but when we get to see Winford, yeah, it's a little bit of an animation glitch. My favorite's Rescue Squad Mayor. Nice. Appreciate it, TAM. Thanks for joining from Argentina. Argentina. I did golf. I do golf. I would pay $100 for a box full of Disney cars is my dream. It's very attainable. I think that's a very attainable dream. Just get a job. You'll have $100 in a week. Favorite Disney store, Lime McQueen variant. I already talked about this. It's that lime green Dragon McQueen. Does that rhyme? Lime green Dragon McQueen. Hello from California. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it, guys. We're still rocking and rolling here. Just got a shifty drug hauler super. Super. What is a super shifty drug hauler? Favorite sponsor besides the main sponsors, Taco Mint would be the answer to that. You guys got any more questions about what's going on here on the table? What is with that 2010 Wingo from Walmart? Oh, up here? Yeah, this is a 4-pack that they did with the tuners exclusive to Walmart in 2010. Pretty cool. They did these vertical 4-packs. Wish they did something like that nowadays. Top 10? I have no idea. I would have to get back to you on that. Golfing with kangaroos bouncing around everywhere. That is actually the dream. That is actually the dream. Meyer has been super bad for me. You know what? It's so streaky. I found like the race to celebrate stuff at Meyer, and then that was it. It's like back to Absolutely nothing on the pegs, but it's the only place I mini racer singles, so can't be too upset about it. Do you prefer raised eyelids or the flat eyelids that were made from China? I like the raised eyelids, but I'm totally okay with the flat ones. Favorite roller coaster? Let's go with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Greetings from Argentina. I love that we have so many Argentinians in here. Should Mater Mattel bring back those four packs? Yeah. Yeah, I think they should. Don't think they will because Walmart now does five packs. What would you do if Mateo Broadly back? I don't understand. The message been retracted. A four pack with tuners back in 2010 would be cool. Yeah, I mean, hello from Houston. Welcome in. What college did I go to? I went to Notre Dame for my undergrad and Cornell for my master's. What's up, my party people? I love to see it. We're up to 100 viewers again. Greetings from Illinois, Pat. Welcome in. Let's keep on rolling, guys. We did some unboxings earlier. I had some of these collectible bag clips from Walmart, and now I want more. I just got two, because I don't even know what these are. These are pretty cool, pretty high quality items. Uruguayans? Am I watching the FIFA World Cup? I plan on it. Would really like to. Uruguay is a place I like to travel to, but very hard for me to get there. Lots of traveling, lots of money. Yeah, the bag clips are really cool, Trini. I would recommend it. Thanks, Cube Not Funny. Yeah. Greetings from Argentina. What is your favorite diecast RV and cars? Your favorite's Larry Camper? I'm gonna go with Big Al. But Sid Vanderkamper, the custom I got recently, is pretty awesome as well. I think I saw one of those at Walmart today. Yeah, they're being sold there. I just feel like as soon as I buy like another one or two, I'm just gonna get a duplicate. I'll probably sell them to Astro Smoky. Zion, I live in Illinois. Are you a Bears fan? Yeah, 100% a Bears fan. I was at two of the games last year, including the playoff game against the Rams. Next variation video. Who should I do next? Just thinking about doing like, hmm. See, the thing is, I don't want to do anything too big where there's just like a bazillion of them. So I probably would do like one of the tuners, to be honest. I feel like that would be a good one. How do you feel about the Bears coming to Indiana? I'm actually okay with it, but I don't want to talk about non-cars related things. Do you know that the pink shifty drug was in the movie, which was message retracted? Lots of messages being retracted right now. I finally got Big Al and the Convoy Bars last Christmas and birthday just in time for the car's 20th anniversary. That's awesome. Congratulations. Do you prefer your mini racers to be blister packed or a blind box? Well, the boxes aren't really blind, but they're way easier to store. The blistered ones are cool though, and I get some of them from Astro Smoky in Australia. I have been to North Carolina, but only the far like northwestern tip. I'm trying to think of exactly where it was, but it was out in the wilderness at one of the a part of the national park. But again, want to keep it focused on cars here. Otherwise, people start to leave. Greetings from Colombia. Welcome on in. Such a blast. You've built such a community here, Mr. Docket. I appreciate that. That is the goal. Love that we have a community of all like-minded people. It's great. Do you think we'll see more haulers re-release in the future? Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, we just got the Octane Gain hauler, if I can reach it way back here. We just got this guy, I mean, like last month. So I don't think Mattel's gonna stop. Now, are they gonna release anything new? We'll see. But they certainly have shown a pattern over the last couple years of re-releasing a lot of these older Cars 1 haulers. I mean, we saw Jerry, Gil, and Chet all come back last year. I never thought I'd see the day, especially when Chet would come back. So I thought that was pretty cool. How many Piston Cups has Cruz won, in your opinion, since at least 9 years passed from her first race? Well, if we ever revisit that character, I think they're going to give her quite a few. I think they're probably going to give her upwards of 7, because isn't that how many McQueen won? Probably somewhere they're probably going to match McQueen or give her one more. Sadly, Paul Valdez is not coming back. Yeah, I feel bad about that. I got tricked, guys. I got tricked by that April Fool's prank. Someone in France listed a Paul Valdez on the new Red Riders packaging, and it's probably one of the best edits I think it actually wasn't even an edit. I think he put Paul Valdez in like a Jerry Recycled Batteries packaging and somehow edited the name. I mean, it looks so real. And it was listed on Vinted, which is where a lot of these haulers are being found first. So it just made perfect sense. However, the seller did put in the description that it was a joke, but it was in French, so a lot of people missed that, including myself. But I quickly found out it was a fake. Hey, from Brian's Toy Haven. Mason loves you. Thank you guys very much. Love to see you guys here in the stream. What stores don't get anything new besides color changes? I'm sorry to hear that. Keep looking, keep at it. Hopefully, the Octane Gain hauler is plentiful. Yeah, see, the thing is about these haulers, they never are plentiful. I did find a lot of Chets and a lot of Gills, but barely found any Jerry's. I've only found one Octane Gain hauler so far, so it does seem like they're going to be pretty rare. Poshmark, I have not ventured over to Poshmark before. Just completed my XRS Drag Racer collection with the Disney Store and Mattel variant. Do you have the Mac? Do you have the Drag Racers Mac from the Disney Store too? Favorite Glow Racer? Maybe Jackson Storm. Maybe maybe Jackson, maybe Wingo. What's one car related thing you wanted to talk about but haven't had the chance yet? Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've touched on everything. We've touched on the new packaging, we've touched on the color changers, the light ups, haulers. Will the new packaging come back? We've touched on 2027 stuff, canceled cars, prototypes. Yeah, okay, we've covered all bases. Cars 4, lightning racers. We've talked about it all today, which is awesome. I'm so glad that we've been able to touch on so much stuff, do some unboxings, do a little room tour, had some lag, but we battled through it. We battled through the lag. I've gotten some from AutoZone, yeah, and I wish the Precision Series playsets would come back. Yeah, me too. They've all really just exploded in cost. Do you think Percy handbrakes would ever make a comeback? I think it's definitely possible. It's more possible than some of these other ones. That being said, yeah, I would not feel confident. I mean, I need to see Mattel do some more releases, re-releases from pre-2020 before I could really. Hi Mason, thanks for joining the stream. But yeah, no, I Mattel has shown the propensity to only re-release cars from the last like 6 to 7 years. You're getting like Marlin Clutches McKay, Maryland, cars like that, but they've all been re-released within the last like 7 years. So Percy Handbrakes is a big ask, especially it was a 3 pack. They never even did her or him as a single. Canceled in 2010 as a single. I don't know. I would probably lean no. Don't want to be a pessimist though. I think it stings to actually good 2022 cars haven't returned. Who would you consider to be good from 2022? Favorite variant for each tuner? Hmm. The flame versions are cool. I would love for them. I mean, maybe these Race to Celebrate ones will become my favorite because they actually get new paint jobs instead of just like an impound boot or the flame, or I have customs of them with the tar on them. So those are all a little bit more minor. My favorite NASCAR Disney car, I'm gonna go with, I think I've said this in the past as Eric Amarolling, but Rowdy Revan Bush. It's kind of hard not to say that's my favorite right now. We do need a mini boost. I feel like Mattel was so close to doing a mini boost, and then they just kind of stopped making anything new from the minis line that's not expanded universe. Do you think Darren should have gotten a 155 scale mud racer? Yeah, I mean, the Disney store did it, so I feel like Mattel should. Any advice for a new collector? Talked about this earlier. Just buy what you can in store, buy what you like. Don't feel any pressure from the community or anybody else. Just buy what you like. If there's something you really like that's online, you can go ahead and bite the bullet on it. But yeah, just leverage your stores. Meyer, find out what are the smaller stores in your area that carry cars and start there. Will 2027 be better than 2026? With 2026 being the 20th anniversary year and Mattel clearly doing quite a bit of stuff, we're getting the Race to Celebrate. We're getting new packaging. We're getting these metallics, right, that I just reviewed the other day. I mean, I would not feel confident in saying 2027 will be better because that's going to be a non-anniversary year. What's been your best cars finds this month? Probably the Octane Gain Hauler. It's probably the best thing I've found. I really haven't found. June's been tough for me. Today I just found Case H at Target for the first time. I found it at Meyer a couple weeks ago, but I found remnants of it today at Target. But yeah, all the good stuff is gone. Is Axle Accelerator re-release too much to ask for? It might be too much to ask for. I mean, when's the last time Axle got re-released or got released in general? 2010 as a color changer? I mean, has he been released since then? I don't think so. Do you have all five N2O Cola Pitties, including the four-pack short Pitty expression variant? Are there really five? I feel like I have them all. I don't think I have five though. Yeah, next year will be the 10th anniversary for Cars 3. So we'll see if they do anything for that. But now, you're getting to the point where there's like almost an anniversary every year. It's like, oh, you got the 5-year anniversary of Cars 3, 10 Cars 1, 15 for Cars 1, 10 for Cars 2. And it just goes on and on and on. So I think they might not show as much love for some of these other anniversaries, like the 20th anniversary for Cars 2. Mm, Probably not going to see much. 15th anniversary for Cars 3, probably not going to see much. 10th anniversary for Cars 3, coming off the 20th, probably not going to see much. Favorite metallic variant from the Cars diecast line? Blu-ray McQueen's pretty cool. There's a lot of metallic variants though. Why have the decals on the cars become so blurry over the years? It's because Thailand and the new China and even Vietnam used a process called inkjet, and that creates just kind of a little bit of a worse quality decal, but it might last longer. We look back 20 years from now, and these Thailand variants might actually look better because the decals are stronger. I mean, that's the hope, right? I think, and it's more cost effective, obviously, for Mattel. Racing reds are really, really nice. I don't have a Meyer near me, just Walmart, Target, Macy's, which even for a flagship Macy's still is barely anything. What do I do? No, my stores really provide anything. Well, if you don't have Meyer, that means you might live in the South, which means you might have HEB. If you live in Texas, if you live in the Northwest, like the Pacific region, you might have Fred Meyer. You might live in an area that has a lot of Kroger's. You might live in an area that has a lot of stores called Fry's. There's always regional stores that carry cars. And that's a good thing. Everyone gets a benefit. Everyone gets a little bonus store. O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts. It's funny. I've never been in Advanced Auto Parts, but I've been in the other two a ton. I didn't actually know Advanced Auto Parts had the cars, but I guess all three are just so similar, indistinguishable. I live in Illinois, Mason. Yeah, so just find out what stores have cars that are a little bit smaller, less frequented by the collectors, so less competition. What was the car you were most excited for when you did an episode of hunting? You guys might have been able to tell from my reaction. I mean, I found Bud in an episode. I think I found Jay Lowly in an episode. Bud was pretty cool. Anytime I found a Super Chase, pretty awesome. I remember being pretty excited when I found DSW does actually have cars. The shoe store, they do sometimes have cars around the checkout. I remember last year finding like a fishtail there. When I was in London last year, I found, well, I guess I wasn't in London. I was in Dover, which is south of London in England. And I found Case Z, which I hadn't found in the US yet. I was pretty excited for that. They were actually like almost cheaper than in the US, which just blew my mind. Any regional stores for Northeast Pennsylvania? What's the store called like that starts with an S? It's like Sheets. It's where these light ups are being found right now, and that's over. I think you guys also have a store called Rite Aid, maybe. Trini, what did you find at DSW today? I'm curious to see what kind of case they are putting out nowadays. Because last year it was case T. Kind of like when I modify Sally's irises to bright green. Yeah, that sounds cool. They should make a new Cars game. ShopRite, that's the one, Mr. Awesome. They don't anymore. The only other regional chain is Boscov's. That's one I've never even heard of. They don't really have a toy department. Yeah, it sucks. Did you get Cars 2 vibes when you were in London? Yeah, I think I literally posted on my Instagram, like Cars 2 vibes. Like I literally posted that on my Instagram. with a picture of Big Ben. Funny enough, Mario and Luigi are both characters' names in the Cars universe, which are also, yep, that is correct. Once I get older, I'm gonna go to every state in the US to go hunting. Shields, that's it. Thank you, Mazda. 07KC, I appreciate that. Shields is where the light ups are being found. I don't know what else they have. It's crazy that they're like the first store getting the light ups. Boggles the minds. Yeah, I've been to a lot of states looking for cars. And what car did you find though, Trinity? Like, what cars did you find at DSW? Yeah, no, I don't know if you're gonna. It might sound cool, but going to every state for cars, it's gonna get redundant. It's gonna get repetitive. I took a road trip last year through Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, and didn't really find anything. I thought I would find more, but really came back on empty handed. Shields is getting in the light up. Yeah, that's awesome. I hope they show up in more stores soon. Things feel weird when, the 20th anniversary Radiator Springs 5 pack is showing up at Ross, which is a discount store. Like, usually that's where things go to die. And I'm not saying Shields is like that, but it just feels weird that of all the places, a regional retailer like that is getting in the light ups. But that being said, I still have confidence that they're going to show up at other stores and probably in a big way. Found Flash and McQueen at DSW. Flash was 10 bucks. McQueen was cheaper. I can't believe they have different prices. Five Below doesn't carry cars. They used to. I think the last year was like 2016. I can't believe they priced Flash more than McQueen. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, maybe it will because people don't know. Maybe the people at DSW don't understand that Flash is actually a peg warmer. I've never been to Africa. The best years of Disney cars, except 2026, 2009, 2010, 2015, 2016. 25 Civic, love you, RC Cars 5. Been watching since 2016. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's a long time. It's 10 years. Trinity was Ray Reverend. That's a good find, actually. Rite Aid stores are closing in California. That kind of stinks. Happy 20th anniversary of Cars. Who's watching Cars tonight after this or tomorrow or already watched it? Is it worth checking Ross, Marshalls, and Macy's for Cars diecast? Well, Ross, like I said, is getting in the 20th anniversary 5 pack. However, the only reports I've seen of it, and maybe you guys can speak differently to this, are in California and Nevada. Marshalls, no, I would not go to Marshalls right now. I was just in one and there was nothing to even, yeah, nothing at all. Macy's, yes, absolutely check your Macy's. They were just getting in case G. $3, Trini. Wow. So some of us are finding them for 10, 7, 3. Since it's the 20th anniversary of Cars, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by the body swap. I touched on that question before. If you're able to carify another celebrity or give a celebrity cameo, who would it be and why? It's a great question. Not a big celebrity guy. I would want it to be like someone who makes sense. So I'm gonna go with probably like the most famous F1 racer of the last few years that's not already been done, Max Verstappen or Charles Leclerc. But now you have George Russell and Kimi Antonelli on the rise. So probably one of those four guys would make the most sense. Have you ever been scammed when shopping for cars online? Yeah, I have been. I've been scammed a couple times. I've also had a lot of stuff lost. Just recently, I had a package get lost all the way from Germany. Out quite a bit of cash for that, but sometimes just is what it is. I'm a cars collector from Canada, and honestly, sucks we don't get the NASCAR. Yeah, you guys did get them in 2022, though. Dollarama got in the case with Rowdy Revan Bush, so that was cool. Today, I got the Luigi and the Radiator Springs 5 pack with a really thick visible outline under the eye plate. That's cool. I've been watching cars since 2:30 p.m. Central. So what was that? 7 hours ago? Good for you. Yeah, guys, enjoy the franchise. I'm gonna start watching. Yeah, Mitchell Sankey story time. Anyone know Mitchell Sankey and can give me my money back? Some guy in the UK. My fault though. I shouldn't have paid him friends and family. That's the main thing. If you're just gonna pay somebody that you like meet on Facebook or Facebook Marketplace, use friends and family unless you absolutely know and trust them. And I made that mistake and it cost me. Are there NASCAR drivers you would love to see get their own next gen. See, I don't really follow NASCAR that much, so I can't speak to that. But I've heard a lot of names that haven't gotten any racers. I mean, I always hear Denny Hamlin come up. Starting my business, it's making custom flatbed haulers for my car since they don't have other ones besides Octane Gain, and I do scrapbooking. That sounds awesome. What's your first crew chief you have collected? Whoever came out first. I mean, was it probably like Legalist crew chief? Maybe Dinoco crew chief. Whoever came out in 2009. No, it would have been 2008. Yeah, probably like the Leakless or the No Stall or the Spearmint crew chief. At this point, Cars 4 is too much to ask for. I don't really think it is. The gaps between the Toy Story movies have been immense. Toy Story 1 came out in 1995, 2 in 1999, 3 didn't come out until 2008. No, no. When did Toy Story 3 come out? Was it 2010? Either way, that was a big gap, right? And then the fourth one came out in 2018. So honestly, the gap between 4 and 5 is one of their shorter gaps. Shorter than, yeah, 2010. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, so that was 11 years. So Cars 3, it's not even been 10 years yet. So I think Cars 4 is very much so within the realm of possibility. And we as a community need to continue supporting the hobby if we want to see that. Alex Bale's Cars Theory. I don't know what that is. 2010. Yeah, thanks, guys. Without giving any spoilers, Avatar. I loved Avatar Fire and Ash. Not to get off track. Favorite pity? Piccolo Perry from Team Spearmint. What Piston Cup racer is rare on Red Rider's packaging? Not sure there is one. Many of them have been released multiple times, like Ralph, Dave, Hall. I mean, the rarest might be Rusty Cornfield or something like that. Are you ever going to do another Saturday soiree in the Discord? That's actually not a bad idea. You could do a little event in the Discord, but I would probably defer to doing another live stream like this. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Toy Story 4 did not come out in 2019. It was 2018. I remember it was 1 year after Cars 3. Yeah, we need a Taco Mint next gen. I can't believe they did Sparky Spark Plugs for Kyle. It really makes no sense. But honestly, though, it's creative. Do you think Mattel is getting lazy? I don't know if I would call it laziness. Some of their decisions, not what I would have done. And we talked about this in videos before. Was it really 2019? Wow, okay. I thought it was 2018. 2018 was Incredibles 2. I'm just getting flamed right now. My memory. My bad, guys. It was 2019. Well, then, yeah. I mean, the gap between 2019 and now 7 years. So that's not as long as it was between Toy Story 2 and 3. So again, point being, Cars 4, very much so, still in contention. And with the release of Lightning Racers, it'll bring in a lot of new young fans, and they might use that as a runway, get some momentum to propel themselves into a Cars 4. They should make a car to honor Dale Earnhardt. Well, they kind of do that in a way by re-releasing Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2019, Disney made $7 billion films. That's not true. I mean, Avengers Endgame came out in 2019, and that was a $1 billion film. Toy Story 4 was a $1 billion film. Captain Marvel was a $1 billion film. What other films in 2019 that Disney put out made $1 billion? Every IP known to man. Yeah, Disney owns it all. What's up, James? Happy 20th anniversary. Rise of Skywalker. Did that make $1 billion? Have you ever heard of Nigel News? Nope. Favorite Mater variant? I have no idea. There's so many. Rise of Skywalker was 1 billion. That's awesome, considering it was not very well received by fans and critics alike. So, I mean, what's that? 4? Did like a Moana 2 or a Frozen movie come out in 2019 too that made $1 billion? Good thing Disney made all their money. The Lion King, yeah. Disney made all their money before 2020 came around and there was just no movies. Do you think Cars on the Road season 2 is likely? Nah, I don't. I do not at this point with Lightning Racers, and I think Cars 4 is more likely than a season 4. I think actually if they were to do something like that, they would just brand it completely differently. They would call it something else. It would be Cars something something. They want to keep things new if they're going to do like a Disney Plus show. I just don't think Disney Plus, yeah. I mean, Cars on the Road season 2 is not going to bring in any new subscribers. Whereas Cars, the final Piston Cup race, that could bring in some new subscribers. Aladdin, that was a good movie. Did that come out in 2019 too? Cars live action. No, I don't think about it. That's something that would fuel my nightmares, actually. Do you think they'll do diecast for Lightning Racers? Yeah, probably. I could see a world though where they do like plastic cars like these with the metal bases for Lightning Racers, but they'll do merchandise of some sort for sure. Next Battle of the Beast, Dr. Frankenwagon's monster versus Evil Mater. Yeah, no, for sure. That Dracula Mater popcorn bucket is getting thrown out after this for sure, as we have deemed it the 100% cause of the lag that we experienced about an hour ago on the stream. I can't believe how expensive the Roll and Chomp Dino has become. Hello, Shadow86 VR. Welcome in. Lightning McQueen and Mater will appear in Avengers Doomsday. I love it. Do you know Mama Ship from Mayor's Tall Tales? Yeah, Airhog's not going to do that, but I do know what you're talking about. Thankfully, Mattel did a version in the playset. Really random, but I went to Target and Walmart today, and it made me realize how stupid it is. Cars doesn't carry haulers. They absolutely should. They used to in 2009 and 10. And then as soon as 2011 hit Cars 2 came out, Target no longer carried haulers, and Walmart had them exclusively. Although Walmart still, I mean, it's not like that was the first year for the Walmart hauler, the Wally hauler. Wally hauler debuted in 2009. So Target just clearly wasn't interested. I mean, I feel like each stores kind of have their own thing. Target spend more in the multi packs and some of the sidelines and play sets and whatnot, track talkers. Walmart has pared down their car collection sadly over the years, but they, I mean, we have to give them credit where credit's due. They just added the Mini Racer 3 packs last year. They probably are going to have the F1 cars. They still have haulers. Not every store has haulers, and they just add the accessory 2 packs, of course. Instead of F1 collab, what about Apple collab? I don't see how that is feasible. Small reminder for the name reveal. Wow. Luck Films official. Are we suggesting the stream is ending? We've been cooking here. Do you think there could be a chance Mattel goes back to the old ways of making cars with no? That is done. It's in the past. A prequel Disney Plus show for the events after Doc Hudson's death and McQueen's trouble dealing with his death now. That would be like a Cars 1.5. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think a Cars prequel is really in the cards at all. Just because I don't think it would have the audience. I feel like anything Cars related, it's got to have the main characters. And if you make a prequel, a Doc Hudson prequel, I don't know. I just don't see it. What countries have you visited and how did you find the selections of Cars diecast in these countries compared to the US? Diego, that is a good question. So I've been to the UK and they had pretty good selection, I would say. I mean, I went to Hamley's, super overpriced, but they had one of the newer cases and some glow racers. Went to Selfridges and they had a pretty good selection. Again, singles, color changers, some good Hot Wheels to be honest. And I would say B&W, or is it B&M? I think it's B&M. That had the best selection, and for only 3.99 GBP, pretty good deal. And Spain, I'd say was worse. Went to, I forgot the name of the store, but I went to a couple stores in Spain, and they were fine. Like they had one of the newer cases in like a play set or something like that. But yeah, I mean, maybe if I went to a few more stores, but I feel like in Europe it's all kind of the same. Like you're gonna get the newer singles and a couple other things, but obviously I mean, they do have haulers in some places in Europe, which is awesome, but you're probably not gonna find any two packs. Iceland. Now, Iceland had also a relatively newer case, although I guess yeah, I was there. They had the case with Race and Rescue Morgan Martins from last year, which was pretty cool to find actually Morgan Martins over there. What other countries have I been to? I think those are the only countries I've been to. Oh, Canada. Canada's got good stuff because they have haulers. They have two packs at Walmart, which is fun. I have not been to Mexico. I would like to go because they have Walmart. That's the only reason I want to go. No, I'm just kidding. GRC Rip Lewis Jet being essentially canceled. Yeah, it really stinks because I think that would have been better than some of the race and rescue stuff. Favorite GRC racer? I think I talked about it. I think it's McQueen when I did my ranking video a couple years ago. I think Mattel will do any other motorsport expanded universe sidelines. Probably F1, NASCAR. I mean, what else could you do? IndyCar? Maybe some rally, GRC type situation. Do you remember when Leapfrog, Leap Bad, and Leap Breeder make cars books in the mid 2000s? I feel like I vaguely know. Do you think Finn could have had a cameo in Cars 3 or Cars on the Road? He did have a cameo in Cars 3. He was actually the one that called Mater at the end of the movie, asking him to come up on a new mission. What store has given you the best luck in all my years of hunting? A specific location? I don't know. Yeah, I've seen scalpers though. Hot Wheel scalpers for sure. Ski. Dare to Diecast. My local Meyer, which opened 8 7 8 years ago, maybe, has served me well just because it's so close. I'm able to go to it a ton. Same thing with my local Target. Yeah, probably those two. There was a Walmart over in Richmond Park where I was able to go like every week, and they would have like every Friday they would just put out a new case in 2023, I think. No. Yeah, it was 2023. But I stopped going because I didn't work over there anymore. And they do have haulers. That was the only Walmart I've actually ever witnessed that expanded its car selection. They never used to have haulers and multi-packs. Now they do. They have color changers, and it's like a full-on Walmart now. NASCAR two packs and all the shebang. They never used to. They only used to have like singles, which is insane. But yeah, yeah. I was just kidding about Finn being in Cars 3, but that is my head canon that it was Finn slash Holly that called Mater at the end of Cars 3. Because otherwise, why else would they put in that? Like, it's such a weird. I mean, the technology. It's not like technology was like new in 2017. It's just kind of a weird little post-credit scene. Iceland does have cars at the store I showed in that episode of The Hunt. I think it's called like Cool Cool Kids Toys or something. Do you think Cars Form a Queen will finally pop the ring like Mary Sally? I could see that being like in a quick like montage scene at the beginning of the movie, like catching everyone up on McQueen's happenings over the last few years, and they could just show like a really quick little scene of them getting married. I could see that happening. I live in the same general area, and Orland Park Target has been the best for me. That, to be honest with you, we should get in touch because I probably go to that Target the most of any store these days because it's on my way to work. So we've probably like you know what I mean. Like you've gotten stuff before me, and I've gotten there before you. We really worked against each other unknowingly. But yeah, yeah, the Walmart in Orleans, okay. I missed the Octane Gain hauler there. I saw they got in the 20th anniversary haulers. Octane Gain was gone. I think I missed out on two, maybe even three, just based on what else I saw. And that is the Walmart where I found the two Dale Earnhardt Juniors. Yeah, it's gotta be a weird feeling if you go to any of the stores that are in my hunt videos and you see like, oh my god, I've been there, and then you see those cars like in person. Pretty crazy. Yeah, no, I am always in Orleans, going to the Dollar Trees. There's two Dollar Trees in Orleans. I go to Kohl's and Macy's in the mall, a couple stores in the mall. So yeah, Orleans kind of like my domain. I love Orleans. So many stores, restaurants. You can just live in Orleans. Just bounce between stores all your life, literally. New Zealand, be crazy. Any race and rescue cars being found in Walmart and Target now? Well, Target's getting in, some of the newer ones, the new like I don't even know how to describe this new race and rescue line, but no, Walmart, you're probably not gonna find anything. Yeah, Trinity Cars is coming back to theaters in September. Favorite store to shop for cars is gonna be Target, if we're talking generally speaking. What do you think about McQueen's World Grand Prix spoiler session? It's really cool. I wish they used that version more. Walmart should bring back 24 count cases. They should, but they're not going to. We're going to hit the 3 hour mark. We might. We might. Opinions on the lost codes in Cars 2 for skins, I believe. Not really sure what that is. I don't really have any knowledge of that. Are Race to Celebrate still only in Meyer? So it's actually Meijer. I know what you mean. And HEB. I don't really know what's going on at HEB, but they tend to always get in new two packs and singles. So probably. And Meyer, yeah. Yeah. Probably have a good chance to find it there. Do you think they should release F1 Racer diecast as a Francesca model? I mean, it sounds like they're going to. You should ask a customizer to make race and rescue Ramon and Flo. Yeah, I could, but I'm not necessarily too interested in that. Master Turtle, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. When I go to the store and see the cars lined up on the shelf in a row, like you do, I'm usually like, oh, Mr. Docket was here. Yeah, I've gotten into like a weird habit lately where I get to the pegs and I'm just like so frantic. I like and things are in a mess, right? And so I always like am organizing everything. So I make sure I don't miss anything. Where did I get those plastic celebration cars? I got these light ups from a whatnot show, and they got it from a store called Shields on the East Coast, I believe. We need Dirks and Diego Sion, Slayer Petrowski. Absolutely, we do. Thoughts on Hudson Horn, Piston Cup, McQueen, and the Star Car suit? It's a cool design. It is a cool design. Why did they not make them all for race and rescue? I don't know. I don't know why they made what they did and didn't make what they didn't. Opinions on cars, Stream McQueen with flames. They're unique in my opinion. It's okay. I would much be more open to doing customs of GRC Lewis, Jeff, Nigel, and Rip than I would race and rescue stuff. My local HGB was behind last week. Good luck tomorrow. Do you like the 20th anniversary cars or race to celebrate? I like the 20th anniversary cars more. Yeah. How could you not? Metallic Brown Mater's probably going to be a top 10 release for me by the end of the year. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Would you be down if the Cars IP was sold to a new company? That'll never happen. Trust me, that's never going to happen unless Disney somehow goes out of business. The area is so dry right now. Yeah, I was at the Orland Target. I don't think I went today. I went yesterday, and yeah, they haven't had anything for a couple weeks. Yeah, it's been tough. Apparently, the new two packs were at the old Orland Coles, but I missed them. I went to the Tinley Park Target today, and that's where I found remnants of this Case H. I found like Barry the Pedal, Hall and Gas, Speedy Comet on the new packaging. The King on the table is made in China or Thailand. Technically, both. I have both here because I opened up that one's from Thailand. I opened up the Roger Wheeler two pack because if you guys just joined the stream recently, I opened up these two. They're going to be a Gaskets Rev and Go crew chief, and I opened up a Masha Els wrench that's going to be a Cars 3 Gasprin crew chief. Mr. Beans away. Love your channel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I never looked to check there. The Kohl's in the mall. Yeah, I mean it's kind of in the mall. It's like not really a mall, I guess. Big. It's like a big strip center, tall strip center. But yeah, just park like down in the lower section because it's the two-story Kohl's. Just park on the lower section. Just go up the left side. You open, go through the doors, go up the left side. You'll see the whole little section there, and they usually get in the singles cases. Like they had case G, but I didn't find any of the good ones there. Tinley Coles also gets in singles, but again, they get picked over pretty quickly. Do you think there's a chance Pixar could revisit the World of Cars concept like Disney Toons did with planes? Yeah, what do you mean exactly by the World of Cars concept? What do you think the 20th year Golden McQueen and the two pack with Doc Hudson? Like, when is it going to release? In a couple months. Mr. Bean's away. Watch your video back in 2017. It was amazing. I remember Cars 3. Thank you so much. Yes, I have Cal Weathers and Bobby Swift. Yeah, I would like the Vitaling crew chief from Cars 1, but sacrificing an Octane Gain crew chief would be really tough. Have I ever met a subscriber fan in person when I was hunting? Yes, I have. It was cool. It was a cool experience. I think, yeah, no, it's awesome. When I meet somebody that knows me, it's happened a couple times. The first time, I think I was down in Houston at a collectible store. So I don't know, does that count? Piston Cup diecast. Someone asked about the meet and greet earlier, and I don't know if there's enough people in the area. Although I'm meeting people on the stream right now that apparently live in the area and go to the same stores as me. So maybe that'd be pretty cool. Never would have imagined that I would be able to do something like that, but it sounds like it could be possible. We are getting another 20th anniversary 5 pack, just replacing Sarge with Fillmore. Correct. I am from Illinois. I am in the Chicago suburbs. Guys, we're coming to that time where I'm going to show you some really cool stuff in a quick amount of time, and I'm going to reveal my first name as I promised, and we're going to sign off. So, first really cool item is going to be a colored Carmen from Mater Private Eye. I'm on a big Mater Private Eye kick lately, which is mainly because Wilson Diecast is on a Mater Private Eye the kick and has made a bunch of the customs from the short. Here's one of the bad guy pitties. And of course, the main bad guy pitty with the hats is Clyde with his little tool. Got a custom of him. I've literally wanted these since the short came out. And as time has gone on, I've realized how unlikely that was to happen. And thankfully, someone finally made all these. Garbage truck, stinky, probably one of the best customs I've ever seen. Maybe you guys won't even think this is cool, but I'm going to show you anyways. This might give you nightmares, so I'm just going to warn you. You have El Matador plastic knockoff. Guys, I still need to eat dinner. Still haven't had any dinner yet. I have barely had any water. I had some water when we were lagging, and that was it. I'm gonna show you something I got from Astro Smoky in Australia. Lightning McQueen Cars freestyle with the Santa hat ornament. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do I have any other cool things to show you? You guys want to see anything else? This is last call. Last call. Last call, guys. Anything else? This is gonna be so much fun to clean up. Get hydrated, Mr. Docket. Yeah, I do need to get hydrated. I have water here, but I've just been yapping this whole time. I've really had fun answering all your guys' questions and battling through the lag. I actually just got this in the mail the other day. Am I a gamer? I do play the college football game. That is about it. This is like a prototype Hot Wheel car, but I bought it because it's almost identical to my real life car. It's pretty cool. C8 Corvette. I don't have the black stripes, but I have a black roof. Yeah, I wanted to show you that because, like, why not? When is my next live stream? Probably for the Cars 2 15th anniversary. I feel like that sounds fair. Factory custom Bessie. Yep, that is a factory custom Bessie. They're doing quite a few like upscale factory customs lately, like Mr. Drippy, TJ Hummer. A lot of these are not even available on eBay. They're only available on AliExpress, Taobao, Idlefish. Do I have any custom piston cup pitties? I have a lot. I have a lot of them. Yeah, in 15 days would be when I will live stream next. I don't know what day of the week is that. So I guess that would be a Monday. Yeah, it's doable. We can live stream on a Monday. I don't have anything going on the 15th. Actually, Core, one player, mine does not have a spoiler like that. Mine is like it's called like a ducktail. It's attached full. It's not elevated like that. This is the 24th. You guys are telling me it's Wednesday. Oh yeah, I'm just being stupid. Yeah. I guess that's when you know probably it's time to stop live streaming because I've been talking for so long. Just trying to see in the chat here if there are any other questions I want to go through before I reveal my first name, as promised. Yes, I did watch Cars when it first came out, MTT Productions. The colored Carmen is insane. It is insane. Prototypes, yeah, we have a lot of prototypes. What time is it for me right now? 10 o'clock. On the nose. Probably nowhere's gonna be open for me to get food. It's okay. Was your favorite Cars Lightning McQueen packaging? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I need to look into all that. Just saw your comment in Pixar's latest Cars ambiance video. Yeah. How many likes did that comment get? All right, now's perfect time. Time for a KFC run. You know, they probably not even open, guys. I need to figure out where I'm gonna go get food. Let's type in while you guys are here with me. You guys can help me decide because it's 10 o'clock now. Probably the only thing that's open is like McDonald's. Bona Beef closes at 11. Ooh, Taco Bell. I've had so much Mexican lately. I can't do Taco Bell again. White Castle. Damn, I really waited too long for this. It might have to be a Bona day. Maybe I just won't eat, go into a big calorie deficit. I actually might just not eat. It's okay. I don't even feel that hungry. All right. Subway, no, my Subway closes at like 8 to 8:30. It's weak. It's a weak Subway. Yeah, McDanks is open for sure, but I don't eat McDanks. The only thing I get from McDonald's is a large Diet Coke, light ice, light ice. Pizza Plant would be awesome. You know, I actually would love some pizza right now. Place called Simply Slices around me, but probably close. Wingstop? I don't think Wingstop would be open this late, but I would definitely go medium rare for the steak for sure. Can't believe you guys are still hanging around for all this fast food talk. You guys are just waiting for the name reveal, right? Culver's or B Dubs? Those are actually right next to me. Or not, yeah, I mean they're close to me, but they're right next to each other. Casey's? Ooh, it's actually a phenomenal idea. I could probably go there and get just like one slice of pizza. And I can go to Meyer because Meyer's open till midnight. Meyer's actually goaded like that. And it's right by Meyer. Casey's is also right by Target. But Target will be closed. Little Caesars? Nah. Favorite stock car with Brick Yardley's model? Rev Rodages, maybe? Rev Rodages? Yeah. Rev Rodages or Jimmy Cables? Yeah, Casey's has some insane pizza. Watch some Cars tunes while eating. It's not a bad idea at all. Domino's. Yeah, I need to figure something out. I'm probably gonna like I'm just going on adrenaline right now, and by the time I end the stream, I'm just gonna crash because I have no food in my body. I did have 2 tacos for lunch today and some horchata, large horchata, nice little Mexican restaurant up in Palos. For anyone who's familiar with the area, Lou Malnati's. I actually have a gift card to Lou Malnati's, but I just don't think they're gonna be open. Popcorn, just straight popcorn, not a bad idea. Guys, any final questions? Panda Express will be closed, dollar. They close at like 9, 9:30. Just eat oil. Yeah. What do you think of Celine Fair? I like Celine Fair a lot. Surprised they never re-released her, but they stuck true to the idea, the chase. Should get something for Evil Mater, otherwise he might just lag the next stream. He might, yeah, I mean, he just might. Guys, wanna check this out from Cars on the Road? Pretty cool custom, right? You remember this? The little, like, plaque that they had in the museum lobby? You disappointed that Dirksen, Sly, Greg weren't released this year? I don't really care. I mean, again, would have been cool to see him. Chick-fil-A? I don't think Chick-fil-A is still open. I mean, for me, it's like I've seen these racers get released a lot, even if they haven't been released in the last 5 years. I've seen them get released a lot, and so I'm not too sad about it. The 2006 Flows V8 Cafe is nice, but it's no comparison. The Precision Series version is way better. It's like feels more premium, which it should because it costs way more. think Raising Cane's would be close too. Cook. I don't know how to cook, to be honest. It's one of my weaknesses. What's your top 3 diecast mainline year? 2010, 2009, 2016. Probably the top 3. Yeah, Casey's probably the best fit for now. Do you have the XRS Mac? Yeah. So? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have the XRS Mud Racer and Drag Racer Mac. Besides JP Drive and Apple Racer, what custom have you seen most people attempt? Ooh, it's a good question. Yeah, I mean, people love making the Apple racers. People love doing damaged racers. I feel like a lot of people have attempted the Cars 3 Thunder Hollow Announcer. That's another one I've seen a lot of. People have been doing a lot of stuff from Cars on the Road, which is great. There's a YouTuber out there that does a ton of Cars on the Road stuff. It's really, really impressive. Most common Mattel release besides Lightning McQueen? Suki? Suki, there was a point where she was released like 7 years in a row. 2012. Yeah, probably not 7, but she was released in a good amount of years. It's like Tom Brady making the Super Bowl. Are there any diecasts you're missing? Missing some of the lenticulars. And I mean, if you're going to count like some Vietnam variant, I guess I do actually have probably all the Vietnam variants, but packaged. Packaged. Would you ever buy Pixar Cars NASCAR schemes as 124? I'd have to see how it looks, but pretty much anything Disney Pixar Cars, like I'm interested in. Like I'm down for that. To buy new GL Speed Wheel is an awesome diecast. Yeah, maybe once I get more space, I will work on acquiring those lenticulars. I'd really like to get more mini adventures. That would be one thing for sure. The Mud Racer, Mac, Mattel, or Disney Store, it would be Disney Store. I do have a lot of pins. I think I try to get all the Disney Cars pins. So many though. Some of them are crazy expensive. Pistachio ice cream from Cars 2. I don't really do ice cream, guys. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a wet blanket when it comes to sweets. Metallic Eric Amaroling. Possible. Probably not happening though. Would you like my scrapbooking and my custom flatbread haulers if I could get you some? Yeah, sure. You don't have to do anything though. You don't have to send me anything. I love just enjoying seeing what you guys make and do, and send me pictures on Instagram, email me, whatever. All right, guys. It's time to end the stream. I just got a notification. My phone's on 10% battery. Is there a diecast you regret not buying? Yeah, I regret not buying like everything I ever saw in the store in 2008, 9, 10, 11. I mean, if I bought, just imagine if I walked into every store in those years, bought everything, and then resold it nowadays, I would have made tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just imagine if I found just like 10 race damage move springs, which I don't think I did. I definitely found like quite a few of the storyteller sets though. I do have a custom four-wheel drive pity. You guys just keep me going here. But I mean, 84 people. I love that we've maintained the viewership. I'm so honored. So honored. Time for the name drop. So someone dropped it. A couple people I saw dropped it in the chat. Let me know your guesses because I know some of you guys know what it is. And then some, yeah, passing up Percy handbrakes is a really tough one. That would be sad. Yeah, I get it. Only releasing a 3-pack. Some of you guys know my name. Putting it in the chat. Okay, first one I saw is 38.814. My name is Rhett, and that is how it's spelled. Good job. Have some misspellings in here. Someone missing a T. I saw a rearranging. So Smith is not actually my last name. That is just a fake name that I put on Facebook because I don't want to reveal my full real name. But yes, nice to meet you guys. I'm Rhett. You guys can call me that from now on. And if your friends didn't join the live stream, you now know my name. You could hold it above their head. Yeah. So if you're curious as well, I was named after Rhett Butler, character in the very famous movie Gone with the Wind. Actually, adjusted for inflation, made the most money of any movie. So yeah, nice to meet you guys. Pretty fun stream tonight. I appreciate all the views. Really appreciate you guys for all sticking around. Some of you guys have been here from the start, which has been like 3 hours, which is crazy. My name doesn't necessarily mean anything. I was named after a famous character in a movie, and it's kind of a Southern name, Southern American name. Yeah. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe we're at like 100 views. Like I want to keep going. Like it's crazy. But my phone's about to die. I need some food. We're gonna do this again. I'm confirming it. We're going to do it for the Cars 2 15th anniversary. It's been fun talking to all you guys. I really, yes, I used to be Disney Docketer on YouTube, and then I went to Mr. Docket, Mr. Red. You can just call me Red. But where did the doc in your name come from? Well, I wanted it to be alliterated with Disney, so it had to start with a D. Didn't really have any great options. Docket just kind of means schedule, and I feel like it's a fun name. Like it's fun to say. It just worked. It worked like off the tongue, and that's how it came to be. But it doesn't necessarily have like a specific meaning to my life. You guys all know me now very well. You've seen my face in videos. It's great to get you guys, to know you guys better, talk with you tonight. It's been a ton of fun. Hope to do more live streams in the future. Like I said, we're confirming it for Wednesday, June 24th for the 15th anniversary of Cars 2. So I hope to see you guys all back then. Diecast Countdown, RC Cars 5. Nice little battle spec in your profile pic there too. Love a little battle spec. Love a little Hot Wheels beat then. Beat that. But I will see you then. Hopefully no lag next time. Yeah. I will work out the issues on that. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And happy 20th anniversary to probably most of our favorite movies. Cars 1. See you guys next time. Bye now.